Beth and I will be broadcasting live from East Coast Garden Center. Be a part of our lively discussions about plants, landscaping, garden design, and all that's new and exciting. We'll sprinkle in some gardening guests to excite your interest and keep you up to date on the many interesting gardening happenings.
And the Delmarva Potting Shed brought to you by Lawns Unlimited, the exclusive mist-away dealer on Delmarva, installing misting and spraying systems to control insects for residential and commercial lawns. Call 645-5296 today or visit lawnsunlimited.com to get started. Also brought to you by Stokely Materials, providing high-quality pavers, retaining walls, decorative stones, sand, soil, and mulch with 2 locations, Route 113 in Georgetown and Route 9 in Lewis. Don't miss the Delmarva Potting Shed this Saturday from 9 to 11 here on Delaware 105.9.
Delaware 105.9.
14 past, here's AccuWeather.com meteorologist Heather Zare.
We have a low pressure area which is sitting off the southeast coast, and that is going to be bringing some different weather for the east coast anyway this week. We have a flow onshore in Virginia and even up into southern parts of New Jersey. This is going to mean a lot more clouds around to start the week. In fact, some clouds reach all the way up into southern New England and southern New York State. Those aren't going to produce any precipitation, but we are going to have showers farther to the south. Most of Virginia is going to be able to pick up some shower activity for today and up into parts of Maryland and most of Delaware too. Those are also going to extend down into North Carolina. Once you get down into South Carolina, you're south of where that low is and you start to get some thunder chances. Even those are going to be fairly scattered though. It may affect parts of Georgia today, although for the most part Georgia probably stays dry, and then we do get into more shower activity for at least this morning once you get into Alabama, Mississippi, and over into Louisiana. North of there, however, we do have dry weather and beautiful weather to start the week. That's going to be the case for the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, and all the way back across the Midwest, the Mid-Mississippi Valley also. All these areas having sunshine and highs in the 70s, and so some very comfortable, very seasonable weather. West of there, across the plains, it's still sunny, but it does start to get hotter again. And that's the weather across America. In Phoenix, Arizona today, mostly cloudy and not as warm. There'll be a thunderstorm this afternoon. Watch for flash flooding, high 91. Portland, Maine will be partly sunny with a high of 70. That's the nation's weather. I'm AccuWeather.com meteorologist Heather Zare.
High temperature yesterday, 111 in Death Valley, California. The morning low, 28 in West Yellowstone, Montana. Apparently in Duncannon, Pennsylvania, the police always get their man. After a suspect jumped in a river, police borrowed a canoe and pulled him over. 16 past. A good Monday morning to you. I'm Jim Bohannon. As we can tell you that situations out there are pretty nice today for the most part, especially if you happen to be a winner in Hollywood. Jim Roop tells of the 67th Annual Emmy Awards, making history, and Game of Thrones turns out to be the big winner.
Thrones Emmy was its first Best of series honor.
We knew it would take a while.
It was 5 years in the making, to be exact. Many thought that Mad Men would have taken the highest honor last night as the sentimental favorite in its finale. On the comedy side, Veep finally dethroned Modern Family's domination of the Best Comedy Series category. Family won 5 in a row.
Surprisingly nerve-wracking.
Veep star Julia Louis-Dreyfus took her 4th consecutive lead actress in a comedy series trophy for her role as the VP, and eventually the president.
I'm kind of shocked by this magnitude of it all, but happy to be celebrating, happy to have a great job, and then this happens on top of it. It's a joke.
On the male side of that category, Jeffrey Tambor won for his lead role in Transparent as transgender dad Maura.
I always thought there was teaching in the laugh and in humor, with the laughter and with real humor, you can kill prejudice and keep it far away.
Viola Davis won her first lead drama series actress Emmy for How to Get Away with Murder. She also makes history, becoming the first African-American woman to win in that category. She says, however, the real milestone is when we stop saying the first African-American or the first whatever.
Not just stop saying it, but also stop writing it. And one of the things that I admire about Shondaland is Annalise Keating was not written specifically for a black woman. I made her black because I'm black.
John Hamm finally ended the Don Draper drought. He won his first lead drama acting Emmy for Mad Men after years of nothing. Other acting honors went to Allison Janney, Tony Hale, Uzo Aduba, and Peter Dinklage supporting actor honors. Jim Roop, Los Angeles.
And we can tell you that Turning to NFL football, the big game last night, the repeat of last year's NFC title game, Green Bay 27-17 over Seattle. Other winners included Carolina, Pittsburgh, Tampa, Minnesota, Arizona, New England, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Atlanta, Washington, Jacksonville, Oakland, and Dallas. 19 past the hour. And what does VW stand for? Very wrong, says the EPA. That's coming up on America in the Morning after these messages.
And there's the team's mascot, a hawk named Gracie.
Marvelous creature.
She's flying down to the 50-yard line when she's turned and gone after her fan's popcorn.
Oh, gorgeous talons.
That fan does not want to let go. That is one persistent bird.
Angry, too.
There are thousands of ways into the complex healthcare system, including contact with birds. Wild.
That's got to hurt.
So majestic.
And United Healthcare has ways to make the system simpler, like an urgent care locator to find the closest clinic. Learn more at uhc.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. My office computers are running really slow. Do you?
Staples has the latest Windows 10 devices. They're lightning fast.
But I want...
A great deal? Right now, get up to $250 off select laptops, desktops, and 2-in-1 PCs with Windows 10.
Wow, and do you have plans?
No, actually, I'm free.
I meant tech service plans.
Yes, we do, and I'm still free.
Get more tech for up to $250 less. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer ends 9/26, valid in-store and online while supplies last.
When the leading antihistamine and Nasacort go nose-to-nose, Nasacort wins, stopping more of the chemical responses that can cause your nasal allergy symptoms. And when you stop more causes, you get 24-hour relief from sneezing, an itchy runny nose, even congestion. It's prescription-strength medicine available over the counter. Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
This week on Geico's Stuff Found in Your Car, we look inside your rear door pocket.
Oh, hey. Yeah, me, the almond. Possibly one of the healthiest snacks, just rolling around in the crumbs of inferior foods. You were too busy to save me, but are you too busy to switch your car insurance to Geico where you could save hundreds of dollars in just 15 minutes? Probably not. Saving money with Geico is awesome. Almonds, on the other hand, are just a superfood. No big deal.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
21 past, and good morning to CNBC's Tom Busby.
Good morning, Jim. Fall arrives later this week, but for some Wall Streeters, the fall in stocks began weeks ago when the market started tanking, and this week, expect more volatility, more up and down movement in the markets. Just one economic report due out today, but it could give traders a lift. Existing home sales for August, which should remain strong from July's surprisingly strong levels. New home sales haven't been so bad either, and this morning investors get the latest earnings from home builder Lennar. Profits there expected to be higher. About two-thirds of A&P's 230 grocery stores to be auctioned off today. Now, that chain filed for bankruptcy for the second time this past July. And Google hosting its 5th annual science fair for teens from all over the world at company headquarters in Mountain View, California today.
And, Tom, is the home sales figure really going to be that big a deal this time out?
Housing has been one of the real pillars of strength for the U.S. economy, along with auto sales and consumer spending. It's really helping separate the U.S. economy, which is growing, albeit slowly, from a number of others. And the Federal Reserve credits higher home values this past spring for lifting the overall U.S. household net worth to a record high, nearly $86 trillion. Now, sales of existing or previously owned homes hit an 8-year high in July, and today's data for August is expected to hold close to those levels, despite higher sticker prices, and in some markets, not enough homes on the market to satisfy all those would-be buyers out there looking to buy one.
Well, Tom, sounds like it's a good time to already have one. Now, 23 past the hour, as Barbara Cusack looks at the sales of something else, which the EPA says amounts to a deliberate attempt to evade emissions rules.
Volkswagen has announced that the company would halt the sale of 2015 and 2016 Volkswagen and Audi models equipped with 4-cylinder turbo diesel engines marketed as clean diesel. VW spokesman John Schilling also says the company will stop selling used cars that have those engines. Federal regulators found software installed in the affected vehicles gave false emissions data. In a statement from VW CEO Martin Winterkorn, he personally apologized for breaking the trust of the automaker's customers. He says Volkswagen has ordered an external investigation of this matter. I'm Barbara Cusack.
And we can inform you that Nick Bombach of Morehead City, Minnesota, a memo, it's never a good idea to walk around with a meth pipe. However, it's a really bad idea to walk around with one right by the courthouse metal detector as you are headed in for your drug trial. But then you know that now. And it's 24 past the hour. Next on America in the Morning, Pope Beer, after these messages.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey.
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
My name is Ruth Rusi, and this is how I live United. I read to children as part of United Way's education program. It helps them create links between language and literacy and prepares them for a better academic future. I figure I have the time and they have the need. My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school, so I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Say goodbye to summer as Cheer Delaware presents the 39th Annual Beach Day Healthy Living Expo at the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center on September 25th. Visit the many exhibits for free gifts, free wellness information, and free health screenings. The day includes the Cheer Power Walk and Stroll and live entertainment at the Rehoboth Beach Bandstand. Cheer Beach Day celebrating seniors is bigger and better than ever. Cheer Beach Day, Friday, September 25th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 302-854-9500 or visit online at cheerde.com.
Your home could be under silent attack. The enemy? Moisture that becomes trapped within the building envelope. Even in new construction, moisture creates mold growth, which can trigger upper respiratory illness, coughing and wheezing in otherwise healthy individuals. And it can bring on symptoms of patients with asthma or pneumonia. Want to ensure that your home won't be conducive to mold growth? Call the experts at Sussex Environmental, 302-947-1810. Learn more at sussexenvironmental.com.
Delaware 105.9.
Pope Francis, he took his name from heaven. It's humble and true.
Meet Ryan Krill of Cape May, New Jersey.
I was raised Catholic and went to a Catholic university outside of Philly.
So combine that with Krill's job as president and co-founder of Cape May Brewery, and you get a special beer available starting today.
Yopo, which is You Only Pope Once.
Clever, and obviously the timing is right.
We wanted to do this in conjunction with Pope Francis's visit to the U.S.
The Pope will get close, about an hour away in Philadelphia.
Our beers are distributed all over South Jersey and in Philly.
But Yopo beer will only be available for a limited time at a limited number of outlets.
It'll be on tap at 15 bars and restaurants in Philly, several bars and restaurants in Cherry Hill on South Jersey, and then at our tasting room at the brewery in Cape May.
Learn more at CapeMayBrewery.com. That's CapeMayBrewery.com. Sorry, draft only.
We're not bottling this beer. We brewed a 15-barrel batch of it, not really thinking that we would get this kind of publicity or press out of it.
But with the proximity of papal presence, who knows?
It's a possibility that Pope Francis could even try this beer.
Does the Pope even drink?
He's more of a wine drinker. However, what we found that the beer that he does drink is a light beer, and so that's what we brewed. We brewed a very light pale ale and added an unholy amount of hops.
And since the pontiff is from Argentina,
the initial thought was to be able to get some hops from Argentina, but the import process would have taken so long that we would not have been able to get the hops in time to get the beer for his arrival.
No problem. Cape May Brewery improvised on the Pope beer.
So we hopped it with some particular hops that are very spicy, citrusy, that actually pair very nicely with the Argentinian beef.
It could have been even more divine.
We even wanted to use holy water, but what we learned is that you can't really have holy water for some kind of commercial process.
We'll pray that you see the day there's communion by the six-pack with a head. And that's the Offbeat on America in the Morning for this Monday, September the 21st. Journalist Bill Curtis is 75 today. Comedian and actor Bill Murray turns 65 today. Is that not old enough to know better, I ask you? Our producer is Tom Delac, associate producer Gary Cohen. We're at JimboTalk.net. Follow me on Twitter at Jimbo Talks. This is Westwood One.
When you're backed up, call Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. Toilet won't flush, you need to call us at Central Backhoe Services. We'll pump your septic, repair and install. When something doesn't smell right, you know who to call. Get a good flow from Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
It could be a simple septic repair, or maybe something a little more complex. No matter what your situation is, Central Backhoe Services, your full-service, licensed, experienced wastewater system professional, can help. Contact them at 398-6420 or visit their website at centralseptic.com. Central Backhoe Services, locally owned and operated, serving Delaware's septic and excavation needs for over 20 years.
When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
Know before you go. Get traffic watch updates with me, Robin Bryson, and our entire team watching Delmarva roadways weekday mornings and afternoons on Delaware 105.9.
All right, our Monday roll call coming up. We'd love to hear from you this morning, and we also like to get Kelly Steele on the air now with news. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Happy Monday, everybody. A fiery early morning crash in Sussex County means a DUI charge for a New Jersey man. State police say Michael Fitzpatrick was driving his pickup truck northbound on Route 5 near Milton Sunday morning. When the truck crossed Route 1 and traveled into Brumley's Family Park, the pickup then hit two tree stumps and a decorative rock before slamming into a third tree and finally bursting into flames. Newcastle County paramedics attending to 5 people injured in a Saturday night crash. The accident happened shortly before 11 o'clock on North DuPont Highway. Paramedics say they arrived to find a 4-vehicle collision involving 3 cars and 1 SUV. Your forecast, going to be mostly cloudy today and breezy. No rain in the forecast. Rough surf and rip currents if you're headed to the beach. A high of 73. CBS News is next.
CBS News Update. Another busy day ahead for Pope Francis in Cuba. CBS's Adriana Diaz.
This morning, the Pope leaves Havana for the eastern city of Holguin to give another mass before heading to Santiago, where he'll visit a shrine for the patron saint of Cuba.
Yesterday, the Pope celebrated Mass in Havana's Revolution Square. Thousands attended. Later, he met with Cuban President Raul Castro and then with former leader Fidel Castro. CBS's Chris Martinez.
A Vatican spokesperson is telling us this was a very informal meeting. They say it was very friendly. It lasted about 40 minutes or so. We know the Pope gave Fidel Castro several books about spirituality and religion. And we also know that Fidel Castro gave the Pope a book called Fidel and Religion. We also know that Fidel Castro put some sort of very kind personal dedication to the Pope in that book.
CBS News Update, I'm Heather Bosch.
Comments, views, and opinions expressed on the air at Delaware 105.9 are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and not those of staff, management, or advertisers at Delmarva Broadcasting Company.
Every day you rise early, sip your coffee, pull on your boots, and go to work. And the team at DuPont Pioneer is with you. When you're choosing which product to plant on which part of which field, we're with you. When you're plotting out your planting schedule as winter turns to spring, we're there too. And when you climb into the combine to harvest another bumper crop, there's no question where we are. Pioneer, with you from the word go. When DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go, what's that mean? It means we pack a ton of people power into our high-performance hybrids.
We provide unmatched service and support.
Sure, Pioneer brand corn products feature high-performance trait packages, but it's our team of professionals that helps place the right products in your fields.
I know my customers' fields, and I know how to get the most out of every acre.
By understanding the local landscape, we're able to help you maximize yield potential. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9.
Enjoy a sip and a bite with me, the Rehoboth Foodie, every Saturday from 3 to 5 on Delaware 105.9. I'll take you behind the scenes at Delmarva's restaurants, bars, wineries, and breweries, where chefs, bartenders, restaurant owners, beer and wine professionals, and foodies in the know will fill you in on everything about our delicious dining destinations. Sip and Bite with Rehoboth Foodie is brought to you by Bling Salon and Spa, an escape from the everyday and a chance to relax in style. Step away from your worries and be pampered from head to toe at Bling Salon and Spa in Lewis, where trained professionals will cater to your every need to redefine beauty both inside and out. So grab your knife and fork and join me, the Rehoboth Foodie, for a sip and a bite every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 5 on Delaware 105.9. You can also stream the show live on your phone or your computer at Delaware1059.com. Either way, it's a feast for the ears.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Want to take back control? A Generac home standby generator protects your home against power outages every second of every day, all year long, automatically, whether you're home or away. Control your power, control your life with a Generac home standby generator.
Contact Satterfield & Ryan, Delaware's elite Power Pro Generac dealer at DelawareGenerators.net or call 422-4919.
Hi, Dan from Satterfield & Ryan. How can I help you?
Hi, Joe, Instant Slogan Company. Here goes. No zip, no drive, come alive with. Who are you again?
Dan at Satterfield & Ryan.
Okay, here goes.
But
Satterfield & Ryan, we don't stop trying.
Listen, Joe, we have a slogan. Satterfield & Ryan, do it right the first time.
Okay, so you don't need a slogan. What do you need?
I need you to pick up your phone and give me a call at 422-4919.
Satterfield & Ryan, electric contractor in Milford, a big part of the community since 1931.
Do it right the first time.
The Dan Gaffney Show begins its broadcast day from the opulent new studios of the Delmarva Broadcasting Company's Delaware 105.9 inside the Gaffney Broadcasting Complex. And now, join us as we stand for the playing of our national anthem.
That's a little goofy, especially when you're going into the national anthem.
All right, who is up this morning on this beautiful Monday? 839-1059. It's our Monday morning roll call. We'd love to know that you're listening. Just got an email from Greg. Greg is one of those listeners that emails and doesn't call. He doesn't, probably because he can't. I think it's maybe work-related, but has not contributed to the content pot with a phone call, but we do get him via email. Greg, thank you. Greg from Millsboro checking in before driving. Drives for a living, we'll just say, so I get it. I know you can't, you're not supposed to be on the phone, probably. So it's Monday roll call. Who's here? 839-1059, 839-1059. We'd love to hear from you this morning. 839-1059. Just want to make sure you're still there. It's Monday morning. I want to make sure you're with me to start out another great week. Love to hear from you. Let's go to the telephones. Hello. Good morning, Delaware 105.9.
Good morning, Dan.
Hey, how are you? It's Dave, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great this morning. How are you and Kelly?
I'm doing well. Let me see if I can get Kelly to come on the microphone. She's over there in the newsroom.
Wake up, Kelly.
Just peachy keen.
How are you?
Peachy keen.
All right, man.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Danny.
All right. Hey, Dave.
Everybody doing okay?
Everybody's good. I'm trying to figure out all the buttons. It's Monday. I'm trying to get everything set here.
Okay. Well, they're all to the left and right.
All right.
And some in front of you.
What'd you do this weekend?
Well, I worked around the house here, did some gardening and different things. I'm getting ready to do some concrete board and floor tiles on a job.
Nice. I tell you what, not on the Dan Gaffney eating plan, but I scarfed down a lot of pizza, a lot of cheesecake, and a lot of cake over the weekend, and some ice cream.
I bet you lost at least 10 pounds.
I might have gained a pound or two, but I allow myself to do that when one of my kids has a birthday. So.
There you go.
The presses.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Thomas had his 12th birthday, so when it's his birthday, I'm going to absolutely have some cake.
That's good.
Ice cream, pizza, lay it on. Bring it on. It's a party.
Bring it on, man.
All right, thanks, Dave.
You have a good day.
You
Thanks.
too. Good to know Dave is there. Let's see who else is here. You're on Delaware 105.9. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Can barely hear you, Aaron.
Oh, really?
There you go. There you go.
Dang, Bluetooth is not functioning properly.
Throw it out the window and let's hear what it sounds like.
No, I don't want to do that.
How long will it stay connected when you drive past?
It's about 35 feet.
All right. Hey, look, Aaron, good to know you're there. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need. Monday morning roll call. Good morning, Delaware 105.9. Hello.
Good morning, Dan. It's Vicky and Charlie.
Vicky, thank you so much. Love the loyal listenership that you give us here. What's new with you, Vicky?
Not a whole lot. Got a lot of doctor's appointments this week to line up all my surgeries. That's about it.
Wow. Surgeries, plural?
Yep. Getting both knees replaced and supposed to be getting a tummy tuck to get rid of all this loose skin from where I lost weight.
Whoa. Wow. So, which one of those bothers you the most?
All of them.
I can't imagine.
I don't like surgery. I don't like hospitals.
Who does? Who does? I can't imagine. Are you going to do both knees at once?
If he'll do it, I am.
I wonder if they'll do that.
Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I don't know.
As long as they put the left knee in the left and the right knee in the right.
Yeah.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, I don't want to walk backwards.
All right, good luck, Vicky. Thank you. Let's see who else is here. Thank you, Vicky and Charlie, for listening here. Monday Roll Call. Hi, good morning. It's Dan. Good morning.
Merry Christmas, Don Gaffney!
Hey, you never know. You never know who's listening and from where. From the North Pole, apparently. Via Lewis. Good morning, Delaware 105.9. Hi.
Hi, good morning, Dan. It's Terry the nurse coming home from work again.
Hey, Terry, I got a nurse topic today for you, Terry. Have you been tracking with all the love being shown for Miss Colorado and her nurse monologue at Miss America? Have you been following that story?
A little bit, yes.
Just going to talk a little bit about it. 3 sponsors have dropped from The View because they criticized her monologue about nursing. And there's still a lot of love going toward this woman for her nurse, what she said about nurses. So that's
well,
all.
nursing is a talent, and not everybody has it.
Yeah, no question about it. Good to have you listening. Thank you so much. It means a lot that you're listening this morning. And a roll call, Monday roll call, means you just call in, tell us your name, where you're calling from, let us know you're listening. We'd like to know that we're starting out the week again together. Delaware 105.9, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. It's Albert.
Hey, Albert, good morning to you.
Hey, I have a public service announcement. I was driving up from Dewey to Rehoboth this morning and went over the Canal Bridge. Someone hit a skunk, and it must have been a monstrous skunk because the smell is unbelievable. I've smelled skunks before, but this must have been a monster.
Yeah,
it is horrendous.
Public service announcement.
Avoid the bridge.
Yeah, please.
I did want to ask Kelly about motorcycle accidents this weekend.
Yeah, bike week.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them.
I saw one in Dewey yesterday afternoon on the way to work.
Yep.
And I heard of one in, I think, Milford or Milton that was somebody was in critical condition from that one.
Yep, there's been a lot of them. Stories are all up on our website.
Okay.
Is that right? For real? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Our motorcycles were all over the place, right?
Yeah, Ocean City had a number of them on Coastal Highway there, but yesterday there was a big backup. It looked as if the man who had the incident in Dewey, he didn't have an accident. I would assume they did put him on a board. So I don't know if he fell off his bike because his bike was up and it was fine, and then there was no other bikes around, and he was just laying on the ground. So
hey, the craziest accident I read about this morning was the drunken New Jersey driver that went flying down into Brumbley's Family Park and his car burst into flames. You hear about that one?
No, I did not.
All right, that's coming up. We'll talk about it. But yes, thank you so much, Albert. Guys. All right, let's see who else is here. Good morning, Delaware 105.9.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Terry, how you doing, buddy?
Terry from Seaford.
Yes, it is.
Listen to you.
Yes. You've listened to me for many, many years.
Yes, many years. I met you on every time you. I follow you all around.
I know. I remember you used to call me when I worked at years ago Eagle 97, and then you called me when I worked at WGMD. And now you call me here at Delaware 105.9. And for that, I appreciate it very much.
I know. I enjoy listening to you every single morning.
Thank you.
And I'll probably see you up there at Jimmy's one of these days, too.
All right. Come on in.
All right. Talk to you later. Thank
you know who's got the best pancakes? At Jimmy's Grill. All right. Good morning, Delaware 105.9. Absolutely. Thank you for calling. Hello.
Hey, Dan, good morning. It's Dave and Linda Gallup.
Hey, Dave. Dave Gallup, everybody. Good to have you here, Dave. Hi, Linda, wherever you are. Are you guys in your house today?
Actually, we're in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, on our way to Florida.
Nice. So you're driving?
No, we're just in bed listening to you.
Okay. All right. Well, good to have you there. Thank you.
Okay.
Safe travels. Bye. Safe travels. Sounds great. Thank you very much. We're streaming again in the studio on YouTube. Video setup. Got Colin Walls in the studio. Say hi, Colin.
Hey, good morning.
Colin back there in the video booth area, the video control room. So if you go to YouTube and search The Dan Gaffney Show, want to see what the show looks like streaming, you can do that. We've got it all set up here. Very good. Our live streaming experiment continues. It's great to have all you calling. Monday roll call continues after this.
Live local news and a CBS News update every hour on the hour throughout your busy day. We've got you covered every day. Delaware 105.9.
Okay, meteorologist Steve Williams with your complete forecast. Steve.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight, low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents, high 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night, low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day on Wednesday, high 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Sales, service, training, there's no better place to come than Shooter's Choice. Shooter's Choice offers you everything you'll need from training to shooting sports, firearms, and accessories. Browse their large selection of shotguns, hard-to-find guns, supplies, and accessories for men and women. If they don't have it, they can get it. Shooter's Choice offers professional service for every gun they sell. They also offer several firearm safety courses and Delaware's concealed carry class monthly, with information on all the safety and instructional classes you need to operate your handgun safely. Don't miss visiting shooterschoicede.com and take advantage of their weekday specials like half-price range time, firearms and ammunition specials, and even accessory specials. Shooter's Choice, Delaware's first choice in firearms. Open every day and located across from the Walmart in Dover. Online at shooterschoicede.com.
Always on target. Shooter's Choice. Yeah, yeah. Shooter's Choice. Always on target.
Thanks for listening to Delaware 105.9 on your radio. And for your convenience, streaming live online. Visit Delaware1059.com to hear local news and talk for Delmarva online, streaming 24/7. Sponsored in part by Dart First State. Let Dart do the driving. Save money, save gas, ride greener. Bus routes statewide between Rehoboth, Georgetown, Dover, and Wilmington. Delaware 105.9. Streaming live at Delaware1059.com.
Do I live on the water? Sure. When it rains. Look, I own a house, not a houseboat. I've got to do something about the moisture in my crawl space.
Call the champs, DryTech Environmental. They'll knock out that moisture problem and get you back on dry ground. Austin Ireland and his crew at DryTech Environmental don't believe in one size fits all. They'll give you multiple custom-made solutions designed with you and your house in mind. With their registered trademark, Champs, crawl space humidity and moisture prevention system, along with quality, workmanship, and customer service second to none. They will solve your moisture problem for good. Don't wait another day. Call DryTech today. Mention the SAN and receive a free weather station installed at the time of your solution assessment. Avoid the problems of moisture in your crawl space, dry rot, musty smells, and unhealthy mold growth. Call DryTech Environmental. No one does it better, and no one's done it longer. When it comes to crawl space moisture problems, they are the champs. Call 410-543-4848 or online at DRYTEKenvironmental.com.
Did all that back-to-school shopping jack up your credit card balance? Get smart and transfer that balance to a low-rate Sussex County Federal Credit Union Visa card with no balance transfer fees, no annual fees, and the chance to win a mini iPad. Your Sussex County FCU Visa not only comes with a great rate, but it also contains smart card chip technology for an added level of security against identity theft and fraud. And with free Visa checkout service, you can make online purchases faster than ever before. So for lower monthly payments, enhanced fraud protection, faster online checkouts, and the chance to win a mini iPad, get your Sussex County FCU Visa card now. Simply come by any branch throughout Sussex County. Call 302-629-0100 or apply online 24/7 at SussexCFCU.com. That's SussexCFCU.com. Sussex County FCU is an equal opportunity lender. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply and may vary based on credit. Membership eligibility required. Call 302-629-0100 for details or visit SussexCFCU.com.
Join us this Saturday for the Delmarva Potting Shed. I am Valerie Cordry, one of the hosts. Every Saturday from 9 to 11, Jake Smith and I will be broadcasting live from East Coast Garden Center. Be a part of our lively discussions about plants, landscaping, garden design, and all that's new and exciting. We'll sprinkle in some gardening guests to excite your interest and keep you up to date on the many interesting gardening happenings.
And the Delmarva Potting Shed brought to you by Lawns Unlimited, the exclusive mist-away dealer on Delmarva, installing misting and spraying systems to control insects for residential and commercial lawns. Call 645-5296 today or visit lawnsunlimited.com to get started. Also brought to you by Stokely Materials, providing high-quality pavers, retaining walls, decorative stones, sand, soil, and mulch with 2 locations, Route 113 in Georgetown and Route 9 in Lewis. Don't miss the Delmarva Potting Shed this Saturday from 9 to 11 here on Delaware 105.9.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
right. Good morning. So many of you checking in on this first half hour of the program. A very simple thing we do on Monday. It's a roll call. We want to mark you present and accounted for. We want to make sure you're there and you're listening. And so just call. And just to say hi, just tell us your name, where are you calling from. Join the listeners that have been doing that. 839-1059. 839-1059. Good morning. You are on the Dan Gaffney program. Hello.
Good morning, Dan. How you doing, guys?
Doing great, Ivory. Great string of people back with us on Monday morning, calling in. I'm glad you're one of them. What's new?
Oh, nothing much, Dan. I'm getting ready to hit the road again, get ready to go to South Carolina Wednesday, going for about a week, so I'll be listening at you there, buddy.
Wow.
Streaming on that website.
I love it. Man, you're traveling miles. How many miles you putting in? It seems like you're traveling more than ever.
Dan, I had to stop using cars, man, and go to planes, man. I've been just out there, and my bookings are running into next year deep. It's incredible. I'm enjoying it, man. Preaching the gospel. I'm carrying a team with me this week. I'm carrying about 5 of the people from my church to do seminars. I broke down some seminars and had them to take and do seminars that I would have been doing myself, because there's no need of me keep doing all that work, man. Let me start spreading it around with the other ministers.
That nice. Spread it around.
I'm very excited about it, so I'm looking forward to it, to just setting back. I mean, I do a couple of the sessions, but basically I'm just setting back. I'm generating a lot of services like that, Dan, and it's opening doors for other people.
Do you mail out like flyers to churches or event organizers to let them know you're a speaker available, or do they just contact you by reputation at this point?
You know what, Dan? My reputation right now has gotten so strong until the only advertisement I do now is basically tell people where I'm going to be at. They contact me either through the website or I use every vehicle possible that, to get the message out. But as far as bookings, it's like I don't have to do much of anything. They're just coming. I'm at one of the most fantastic seasons in my life, ministry-wise, reaching hundreds of people. I was in Jackson, Mississippi about a few months ago, and I preached to maybe close to about 3,000 or 4,000 people there. Nice. And then sometimes I'm in a room with maybe 10 or 15, but I just carry the gospel the same way.
I'm fascinated by Ivory's speaking itinerary.
Yeah.
Fascinating to me.
Yeah. Well, look, you guys have a good one, man. I'll be listening at you. You always keep me in tune with what's happening at home, Dan. I want to tell you, I love your format. I love it that it's not all political, but it's enough political to keep me knowing different things. But the touch and the taste of home, that's what I get out of this radio broadcast, man.
Thank you very much, Ivory. Glad you hear it. Thank you.
All right. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. You too. Speaking of a taste of home, I got something to tell you right after this call. Hi, good morning, Delaware 105.9.
Morning, Dan. It's Tony from Lazy Lake in Milton.
Tony, how you feeling?
Hey. Oh, I'm great. I'm blessed here.
Are you still working at Staples?
No, I haven't worked there since 2011.
2011. What year is it? 2015. I'm only 4 years off.
I'm just had to retire because of the other operations I had. My back problem. Can't do the standing anymore.
I gotcha.
So, I'm on a retirement list. Go to cheer every day. Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
As long as you get out and stay active, that's important, I think, right?
This is true. Yep, God's blessed me. I'm still able to get around as much as I can, and I do.
All right.
I love being out. I don't like sitting at home.
Thank you for the check-in today.
All right, Dan, you have a great...
Tony on the roll call. Speaking of a taste of the area, Nicola Pizza, 1st Street, and Nicola on the Avenue. I have a note here. I can talk about Nicola Pizza off the cuff, but we have some specials here. They have Delaware Sports Lottery, 25 TVs. You can watch and bet on every game. Bet, watch, win at Nicola. The Upper Deck Sports Bar, Delaware Sports Lottery, sponsored by the Delaware State Lottery, must be 21 to play. When you go there on game day, $10 large cheese pizza, $6 hot or spicy barbecue wings, $5 hot or burgers, $2 two hot dogs, $5, $2.50 domestic drafts, $5 orange or mango crush all day Sunday. Now, today is the day the parking meters are turned off in downtown Rehoboth. That's right, free parking in Rehoboth. So, locals, let's get downtown. Let's go downtown Rehoboth and enjoy. And why not go to Nicola Pizza on 1st Street, the original Nicola? Family-friendly, family-priced restaurant, something for everyone, including the world-famous Nicoboli. Great pizza, homemade spaghetti sauce with meatballs, fresh meatballs, Nick's 1st Street fries, and more. Parking meters are off. Nicola is open. It's a beautiful day. Nicola Pizza, the taste of the first state.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
And Delaware 105.9 news time is 5:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy and breezy as you head back to work and school. If you're headed to the beach, rough surf and rip currents are possible along the shore today, so be careful, please. A high of 73 degrees. Dewey Beach voters making their choices in this year's municipal election. Former council member Dale Cook, current mayor Diane Hansen, and Mike Dunmire were the 3 top vote getters in Saturday's election. Former mayor Del Tush finished out of that running over the weekend. Delaware State Police investigating the robbery of a Tallyville water ice store that occurred Saturday afternoon. Shortly before 5 o'clock, police say a man confronted 2 female employees at the sales window of the Rita's Water Ice located on Concord Pike. The suspect was armed with an unknown type handgun and demanded cash from the register. Nobody hurt in that incident. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis. It's 6 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. A second Republican presidential candidate is under fire for his views about Muslims. CBS News correspondent Vicki Barker is live with the latest.
Some Muslim advocates calling on Dr. Ben Carson to drop out after he said this on NBC's Meet the Press.
I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that.
Carson later clarified he thought America wasn't ready for a Muslim president. Donald Trump defending his failure to correct a supporter who said President Obama was a Muslim, telling ABC's This Week.
I don't talk about other people's faith. It's not appropriate for me to talk about somebody else's faith.
Trump later clarifying he'd happily appoint a Muslim to his cabinet. Frank?
On a day when he celebrated Sunday Mass in Havana and took a jab at communist ideology, Pope Francis also met with former President Fidel Castro. Vatican spokesman Federico Lombardi says they chatted about world events and exchanged books.
The Pope was very happy about this meeting. Some of the members of the family of Fidel were present.
CBS's Chris Martinez tells us the Pope will spend today in eastern Cuba.
He's going, as he often does, to parts of the country that maybe don't get visited by officials or dignitaries as often, to see the people that maybe aren't heard as much.
Cuban dissidents say they were kept from attending yesterday's Mass. The Pope has no meeting scheduled with dissidents or prisoners. CBS News correspondent Alan Pizzi.
The idea here in Cuba seems to be engage rather than confront the Cuban authorities, kind of a softly approach.
The Pope travels to Washington tomorrow. The number of homes destroyed by 2 big wildfires in Northern California tops 1,000 now. Lynette Round with Cal Fire says families living in the hardest hit area have finally gotten the all clear to go home.
We have lifted the mandatory evacuations over on the Valley Fire, which is really good. So the residents of Middleton are now able to go back into their homes.
Authorities in East Selma, Alabama say the man charged with shooting 3 people during a Sunday church service was likely upset over breaking up with his girlfriend and not being able to see his month-old son. District Attorney Michael Jackson.
This is another instance of domestic violence. It's going terribly, terribly wrong.
The gunman wounded his former girlfriend, the infant, and a minister who tried to stop him. All 3 are in stable condition. It was a night of firsts at the Emmy Awards. Viola Davis became the first African-American to win an Emmy as the top actress in a dramatic series.
Let me tell you something. The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity.
8-time nominee John Hamm won his first Best Dramatic Actor Emmy for Mad Men.
There has been a terrible mistake, clearly. Thank you for that.
And HBO's Game of Thrones won a record 12 Emmy Awards. S&P futures are up 4 points. This is CBS News.
There is something about the road that beckons.
that invites us to pack up the family and leave the world behind. And there is something about an industry-leading unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz that gives us the freedom to do exactly that. You take to the highway, rack up the miles for up to 3 years, and drive with the assurance that your Mercedes-Benz is covered. You have the security of being in a car that has been certified to Mercedes-Benz standards, while you enjoy a carefree ownership experience for miles and miles. But while the mileage is unlimited, your time to take advantage of our certified pre-owned sales event is not. Now through September 30th, you can also receive complimentary prepaid maintenance and your first 2 months payments on us on select models, plus 3 months of Sirius XM satellite radio. So hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today and see why we say the odometer is there to record the memories.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 6:04. Good morning, everybody. A fiery early morning crash in Sussex County means a DUI charge for a New Jersey man. Delaware State Police, a 25-year-old Michael Fitzpatrick of Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey, was driving his pickup truck northbound on Route 5 near Route 1 in Milton about 5 o'clock Sunday morning when the truck crossed Route 1 and traveled into Brumbley's Family Park. The pickup then hit 2 tree stumps and a decorative rock before slamming into another tree and bursting into flames. The tree also caught fire, I'm told, and the heat from the blaze damaged an occupied house nearby. A policeman responding to a 911 call found Fitzpatrick unconscious in the burning wreck and had to smash the driver's side window with an axe to get him out. Fitzpatrick was treated for non-life-threatening injuries at Milford Memorial. He was cited for driving under the influence. Newcastle County paramedics attending to 5 people injured in a Saturday night crash. That accident happened shortly before 11 o'clock on North DuPont Highway. Paramedics arrived to find a 4-vehicle collision involving 3 cars and 1 SUV. 4 of the patients sustained only minor injuries. They were taken to Christiana Hospital in Stanton. A 5th patient was treated on scene by Newcastle County paramedics for possible internal injuries before being taken to Christiana Hospital. Again, that crash remains under investigation. Motorists in Delaware are paying 6 cents less at the pump when compared with just a week ago. AAA Mid-Atlantic said Sunday in its weekly report that the average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas in Delaware was $2.22. That's compared to $2.28 a week ago. Motorists in the region are paying $1.08 less per gallon than last year. At this time last year, Delaware drivers were paying $3.30 per gallon. The price of gas in the state is 7 cents below the national average right now of $2.29 per gallon. A program aimed at ending homelessness for veterans in Dover is seeing more people. 36 vets are receiving housing and assistance through the Mayor's Challenge to End Veteran Homelessness, which was started by federal officials earlier this year. Dover Mayor Robin Christensen says the effort has allowed them to get various agencies on board and on the same page when it comes to helping veterans.
To get them housed, but to end their chronic homelessness, get them hooked up with job programs through the VA, medical attention, schooling, whatever it would take to keep them from them and their families from being homeless.
The aim of the program is to find housing for all veterans nationwide by the end of the year. Dover, in fact, aims to assist 54 of them as part of this effort. Delaware 105.9 News Time is 6:07. Here's Schofield on sports.
On Sunday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers won the rematch of last year's NFC title game, beating Seattle 27-17. Aaron Rodgers tossed 2 touchdowns in the win, while Russell Wilson threw for 206 yards, 2 scores, and a pivotal fourth-quarter interception for the Seahawks. Earlier in the day, the Redskins used a steady rushing attack and stout defense to even their record at 1-1, beating the Rams 24-10. Matt Jones ran for 123 of the Redskins' 182 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr's 12-yard touchdown pass to Seth Roberts with 26 seconds left gave the Raiders a 37-33 win over the Ravens. Baltimore falls to 0-2. Steve Smith caught 10 passes for 150 yards in the loss. And the Eagles also fell to 0-2 as their offense rushed for just 7 yards and turned it over 3 times as they lose to Dallas 20-10. In baseball, the Nats beat the Marlins 13-3. The O's lose to Tampa 7-6, and the Phillies fall in Atlanta 2-1. And Denny Hamlin wins the first chase race in Chicago. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
From the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, going to be mostly cloudy and breezy for your Monday. Rough surf and rip currents are possible today along the beaches. Please be careful. A high of 73 degrees. Low clouds tonight, breezy, an overnight low of 65. Out the door temperatures right now, 63 degrees in Delmar, 64 in Milford, at 67 on the beach in Lewis. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
All right, good morning. Delaware 105.9 Dan Gaffney program, and welcome to the show. A New Jersey guy got charged with a DUI after his car crashed into Brumbley's Family Park. You know where that is? On Route 1 at Route 5. Outside of Milton, Route 1 at Route 5. Apparently, this guy from Cape May Courthouse was here in Delaware driving his pickup north on 5, headed toward 1, okay? This was yesterday morning at 5 in the morning. Sunday morning, 5 a.m. He crossed Route 1 and traveled into Brumbley's Family Park. He hit 2 tree stumps and a decorative rock before slamming into another tree and bursting into flames. Can you believe it? That's crazy. Like he didn't kill somebody. The tree caught fire, and the heat damaged an occupied house nearby. Imagine that, at 5 in the morning on Sunday. You wake up, there's like an explosion, a fire. Crazy thing to wake up to. The neighbors, I'm sure. People at the campground. All right. So a trooper, somebody called 911. Delaware State Trooper found him, the driver, Michael Fitzpatrick, unconscious in the burning wreck. All right. The trooper had to smash the driver's side window with an axe to get him out, it says. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries at Milford Memorial Hospital. That's where they took him. And is that closer than BB? Why would you go? I guess it depends on who responds, right? Because my dad used to say, 6 of one, half dozen of another, or whatever. I guess that's what the phrase was. Fitzpatrick was treated for non-life-threatening injuries and cited for DUI. Hitting 2 trees and a decorative rock, Kelly, and burned the tree. I think
I hear you. It was a mess.
Maybe the decorative rock is what caused the fire. I don't know.
Maybe.
What caused the car to blow up? It was a pickup truck, by the way. I think a Ford F-150, I believe. I believe it was a Ford F-150, if I remember reading that. Do you know? Do you remember?
I do not.
Doesn't matter, does it?
No, not really.
Does it matter?
No.
All right, so people from New Jersey coming into Delaware think you can drink yourself into a stupor. You might want to stay back in the Garden State, please. We don't need it. Right, Cape May? You can have them. You can keep Cape May Courthouse. Can they hear us in Cape May Courthouse? 302-839-1059. All right. You can come and get him anytime now. 25-year-old Michael Fitzpatrick, Cape May Courthouse. Came to Delaware for some reason, thought he could booze it up on our time, and ends up crashing into a campground. Lucky he didn't kill himself or someone else. Can you imagine if the tree, what if the stump and the tree and the decorative rock had not been there? You know, where was he headed? Into the campground. Because Route 5 kind of comes to Route 1 at like a T, and I guess he kept going into the campground. Like oblivious that he just passed the highway. That's how drunk he was. Apparently. Allegedly, right? So motorcycle crashes all over. Let's see, 2 injured in a Milton, right up the road. A couple of days earlier this was Friday night, right, when 2 people were hurt. Hudson Road, Route 1 at Hudson Road. That was a car and a motorcycle. Driver of the car was stopped on Hudson Road. Didn't see the motorcycle, pulled right and pulled into the path of the motorcycle. 54-year-old Kenneth Tarburton Sr. of Wilmington and his wife Elizabeth were thrown off their bike. They had to fly this guy to Christiana in critical condition. His wife was taken to BB in serious but non-life-threatening condition. Southbound lane at Hudson Road was closed for like 2.5 hours while that crash was cleared. That was on Friday night, right down the road from the other crash. Right? So there you go. All right. What else? Did we have that Dewey crash? What was the guy talking about a Dewey crash? Do we have that one? Another motorcycle one? I guess, I don't know. Other bike wrecks over the weekend. Now, speaking of highways and safety, did anyone drive by the new pedestrian? I didn't go into town, into Rehoboth this weekend. Have you been down to drive into Rehoboth at 1 and 1A, leading into Rehoboth Beach, the new Hawk traffic signal? That have you heard about that? We were there at the unveiling of this thing. This is like a high-tech crosswalk. Apparently a pedestrian activates it, and then instead of just a regular red light, it looks like it's got 3 lights. It looks like it has 2 reds at the top and a yellow. The picture, the Hawk signal. And it has apparently been activated. Denny Heeman, the traffic signal engineer at DelDOT, describes how the Hawk signal works when it is activated by a pedestrian. This comes from Joe Irizarry in our Delaware 105.9 News Center.
The signal goes to a flashing yellow, then a solid yellow, then a solid red. That's when the pedestrian gets the walk signal. Mm-hmm. Halfway through the walk signal, it becomes a flashing red. Okay. That's when the countdown begins on the pedestrian signal. Okay. So at that time, the countdown begins. It goes to a flashing red. The motorists are then allowed to go, but only when a pedestrian's clear.
Did you follow that? Here's how it works. In case you're driving down that way, again, here's how it works.
The signal goes to a flashing yellow, then a solid yellow, then a solid red. That's when the pedestrian gets the walk signal. Halfway through the walk signal, it becomes a flashing red. That's when the countdown begins on the pedestrian signal. Okay. So at that time, the countdown begins. It goes to a flashing red. The motorists are then allowed to go,
then we can
but only when a pedestrian's clear.
Okay. I don't know. Pretty cool. Sounds pretty simple. Sounds pretty. Anybody drive through there? I just want to know. Anybody drive on 1 and 1A? You probably don't even notice it. Unless somebody's crossing the road. Looks crazy though. I mean, is that an actual picture of it? Is that a real picture in our news story? It looks like. I know you can't see this on camera, but it looks like. All right. 2 red lights at the top and then a yellow. So I guess you get a flashing yellow, then a solid yellow, and then a flashing red and a solid red. Then it goes to flashing for the pedestrian. I don't know, man. 839-1059, 839-1059. Love to hear from you this morning if you've traveled through that area. I'm Dan Gaffney. Meteorologist Steve Williams is with us. He has your complete weather forecast. We're going to check traffic this morning with Robin Bryson. Kelly Steele and the Delaware 105.9 News team here to tell you what's happening locally. We've got Colin Walls in here working the cameras for our YouTube live stream. Go to YouTube. We're live streaming this morning of the show, The Dan Gaffney Show. Call greeter Phil is with us as well. And Charlie in Milton is here. Hello, Charlie.
Good morning, Dan. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. I was just want to tell you what happened yesterday. That's the first time I encountered that flashing signal. I was going down 1, and all of a sudden these lights went on, and they started flashing. I didn't know what happened because I'd never seen the thing before. I thought I was looking for a fire truck or an ambulance or something. And then it went to a solid red, and then it started blinking. I didn't really know what to do, whether I should stop or go or what, you know. And some of the cars adjacent to me, they just kept going. I mean, it was like a little confusing.
Really? They went through the flashing red?
Yeah. I mean, you know how the traffic is on 1. I mean, people, they approach it, and all of a sudden it starts. You know, even the flashing yellow. It starts up, and it's big enough. I mean, you can see it, but you really don't know what to do. So you slow up, and I stopped, but people were going around me to go through it, you know. There was nobody there in the intersection. Somebody may have activated it and decided not to go through, but nobody was crossing.
Fascinating.
So it's really a good unit because it gives you plenty of warning. It's not like, you know, it surprises you. That it's just that I've never seen it before, you know. So
I hear you, Charlie. Thank you for your firsthand experience. I appreciate that. I'd like to hear some more calls about it. That's exactly why I'm bringing it up, because I know you folks have been there, right? You know what's going on. All right. Hold on while I look for something. All right, I got it. Very exciting. To look for a piece of paper, I got it. Frank in Bridgeville is here. Hello, Frank.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Good morning to you.
I have not been through it yet. I will go through it many times in my lifetime, I'm sure.
Yes.
I work over that way. But I did see it on the news. I saw them demonstrating it. I saw what it looked like. It doesn't look like a traffic light to start with.
It doesn't.
It doesn't look like your typical traffic light. You know, 3 lights in a line. It doesn't have the same sequence. And I think, like your last caller, it's going to cause people to be confused. I mean, my lifetime experience with flashing red lights are you stop and then you go.
You're right, like a stop sign.
Right.
That's the same as a stop sign. Flashing red is like a stop sign. You can stop, look, no one there, then you can go.
Right. But being out there on Route 1 where it is.
Well, it's 1.
Where it's never been.
1 and 1A, right? 1 and 1A.
Right. The intersection where you left turn to go down into Rehoboth.
All right. Yes.
So that's always been a straight, and I'm sure there's signage out there about new signal, new traffic pattern, whatever they've done. And I guess putting it up this time of year, you don't have as many tourists to learn, but they'll be back next year, and they'll all have to, the ones that have come for years will not be expecting it. And I don't see the need for it myself. I mean, I've started calling this Del Dot for dummies. Every time there's a dummy who doesn't know how to cross the road or drive a car through an intersection, Del Dot comes in and does some re-engineering of the intersection, puts up some new light or something, when really what it's about is the pedestrians, bicyclists, and the drivers, the motorists, are not being educated enough on rules of the road anymore. I really don't think driver's ed is doing its job anymore.
Or walker's ed. I almost hit a woman on Route 1 Saturday afternoon. I got to tell you something. I'm just coming out of where the Route 1 Starbucks is, okay? Coming out of there, I'm going to turn right to go south. Very heavy volume. I wait. As I'm turning right, finally there's an opening, right? As I'm turning right, there's a car doing a U-turn. They were coming north, and so they're doing a U-turn at the same time I'm turning right. So I pause for a moment while they do the U-turn into my lane, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then I start to accelerate, and then right like a foot away from my car, some woman is walking across the street. Like, in I couldn't see her. She was blocked by the other car. In other words, she was crossing, stopped for that other car, and then kept walking and almost walked right in the front of my car. She's jaywalking on Route 1. Crazy.
Right. And I mean, there's the intersection at the Speedway in Georgetown. They're re-engineering that because there was a
Yes.
fatality at that intersection.
I remember. I heard your comment about that. Yes.
On Route 13, they're doing the same thing at the Old Furnace intersection. And what they've done at the Old Furnace intersection is it was you could cross straight over or you could make left turns north and southbound. Well, now what they've done is they've taken the straight across option out and they've put 2 left turns. But what they've done is when you come up to make a left turn, say you're going southbound and you're making a left turn and there's someone making a left turn going northbound, well, they're blocking your view of the oncoming traffic. If it's a big four-wheel drive pickup truck or a delivery truck or something like that, you're not going to be able to see, and you're going to take the chance and pull out and possibly pull out in front of somebody. They've made the intersection more dangerous. Just in my layman, years of driving experience, they've made it more dangerous, and it's because Del Dot for Dummies.
All right, Del Dot for Dummies is what he says. How about you? Did you see the new traffic signal, the Hawk pedestrian traffic signal? We'd love to hear about it at Delaware 105.9. Good morning, 839-1059. Lanchester Sheds and Gazebos having an end-of-the-year sale through this end of this month. 10% off everything in stock. Call Lee or Diane at 491-4981. And now here's Robin Bryson.
Jared, we're still busy in a lot of the normal...
That's not the right report. Here at Delaware 105.9, okay.
It's like having a CBS News app right there on your dashboard. Check in for a quick update on the hour throughout your busy day. Thanks for making the switch. Delaware 105.9.
Right. Always Monday here. All right, here's your forecast now. Meteorologist Steve Williams.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight. Low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents. High 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night, low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day on Wednesday, high 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Where can you find the healthcare specialists with heart? You'll find them here at Atlantic General Hospital and our specialized health centers. Places like the Eunice Q. Soren Women's Diagnostic Center, providing advanced digital mammography services, breast MRI, bone density exams, minimally invasive breast biopsies, and more. Our physicians and medical staff coordinate your care every step of the way. They're the healthcare specialists with heart, and you'll find them only here at the Centers of Care that care. Atlantic General Hospital.
When is the last time you had an amazing wood-fired pizza and craft beer? At Mr. P's Pizzeria in Lewis, we feature 19 craft beers and the best wood-fired pizza in all of Delaware. Now open every day and easily located on Kings Highway in Lewis. Call us at 645-1900. Slices every day, 11:30 to 3. A great way to try our pizza. The secret is out. Mr. P's Pizzeria. And remember, now open 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Pastor Nate Graham from Berean Community Church. I want to tell you about a radio program called Taking God at His Word that airs on Sunday mornings from 6:30 to 7:30, right here on Delaware 105.9. Psalm 19:7 tells us the testimony of God makes wise the simple. We need wisdom and conviction in this uncertain age. So that's what you'll get at Taking God at His Word. Clear, rich, and practical exposition of God's Word, verse by verse, book by book. I hope it will be a blessing to your life.
Bob is joining us from Milton. Hello, Bob. You're on Delaware 105.9.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
I just want to give the listeners a heads up on Route 16 and Route 30 at the intersection of Kemp's Liquor Store. There's a two-car accident there. It just happened maybe 3 minutes ago, and people are still in the vehicles. The policeman's there, but they might want to take their time coming up to that area.
Route 16 at Route 30, that's outside of Milton near Kemp's Liquors, if you know where that is, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, they're still in the vehicles, and the officer, when I came to the red light to make a right turn, because I couldn't go straight across, he was talking to one of the people that was driving, What it was, somebody was making a left turn and didn't wait for the car that had the right of way to come straight, pulled straight in front of it, and it's pretty bad looking there. So just giving people a heads up to take your time coming through there.
Excellent call. I mean, this is a top-notch kind of thing to do here on the Dan Gaffney program so that we can help everybody out, and I'm glad you did that, Bob, and thank you very much for the call at 839-1059.
Do I live on the water? Sure. When it rains. Look, I own a house, not a houseboat. I've got to do something about the moisture in my crawl space.
Call the champs, Drytech Environmental. They'll knock out that moisture problem and get you back on dry ground. Austin Ireland and his crew at Drytech Environmental don't believe in one size fits all. They'll give you multiple custom-made solutions designed with you and your house in mind with their registered trademark Champs crawl space humidity and moisture prevention system, along with quality, workmanship, and customer service second to none. They will solve your moisture problem for good. Don't wait another day. Call Drytech today. Mention the SAN and receive a free weather station installed at the time of your solution assessment. Avoid the problems of moisture in your crawl space, dry rot, musty smells, and unhealthy mold growth. Call Drytech Environmental. No one does it better, and no one's done it longer. When it comes to crawl space moisture problems, they are the champs. Call 410-543-4848 or online at drytekenvironmental.com.
Join state and local government officials as well as business and education leaders September 22nd at the 7th Annual Kent County Economic Summit on the Delaware Tech Terry campus in Dover. A partnership between Delaware Tech and the Central Delaware Business and Entrepreneurship Consortium. The summit brings together nearly 300 individuals who share the common goal of improving the economic conditions and quality of life in Kent County. The keynote address will be presented by Lisa Flowers, founder and CEO of Flowers Media Matters. Additional presentations will provide insight into the state of the current economy, as well as updates on projects and proposals geared toward improving the economic picture for businesses both large and small. The cost is $30 and includes breakfast and lunch. To register, sponsor, or exhibit, call 302-857-1400 or visit dtcc.edu/economic summit. Don't miss the 7th Annual Kent County Economic Summit on the Delaware Tech Terry campus in Dover.
Rehoboth Shores, just off Long Neck Road in Millsboro, would like to invite you to visit the area and share the beautiful scenery, hometown history, and culture, and all of the good life Southern Delaware has to offer.
Rehoboth Shores has brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes being delivered. Come see the new floor plans and get pre-approved for your new single-wide home today. Private community building, beach, marina, and boat ramp, some of the area's best crabbing and fishing.
And good morning. It's 6:31. Kelly Steele with local news coming up in just a moment, right after this update from CBS. Good morning.
CBS News Update. Fallout over this.
I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that.
Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson on NBC's Meet the Press. He says a president's faith should matter to voters.
It's inconsistent with the values and principles of America, then of course it should matter. But if it fits within the realm of America and consistent with the Constitution, no problem.
The Council on American Islamic Relations is asking Carson to bow out of the race. Spokesman Ibrahim Hooper.
This is hurtful to American Muslims, but I believe also that it hurts the entire society when you have a highly ranked presidential candidate espousing such unconstitutional, un-American views.
He says the Constitution forbids religious tests for those seeking public office. CBS News Update. I'm Heather Bosch.
6:32. This update brought to you by Southern States in Milford, Delaware on Route 14. Kelly, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Motorist, heads up. We've got a crash this morning already in Milton. This one at Route 16 and 30 near Kemp's Liquors. A reported 2-car crash. Police are on the scene right now. Detours could be set up, so just be aware if you're driving in the area. A New Jersey man has been charged with driving under the influence after authorities say he crashed his pickup truck near Milton, setting the car and a tree on fire. Delaware State Police say it happened Sunday on Union Street Extended, approaching Route 1. Delaware State Police say they're investigating the armed robbery of a Rita's Water Ice store near Tallyville. State Police say the man with a handgun confronted 2 female employees at the sales window and demanded some cash from the register before fleeing with the cash in his car. Nobody hurt in that incident over the weekend. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 6:33.
Southern States of Milford has been serving Lower Delaware for over 60 years, keeping your lawns and gardens green and beautiful year-round. Southern States of Milford is your source for Echo, Steel and Exmark power equipment. Southern States of Milford is the place for agricultural feed, pet, outdoor and fuel needs. Need mulch, fertilizer and landscaping supplies? Your local experts at Southern States of Milford have you covered. Call 422-8066. Southern States of Milford on Williamsville Road. Farmer owned since 1923.
There's a new traffic signal for pedestrians, the Hawk signal, Route 1 and 1A, the entrance to Rehoboth. Anybody drive through that? What's your experience? One caller says it's Del Dot for dummies. Now, is that true? And maybe not needed. Someone else said he drove up there and it was confusing to him. So, did you drive through? Did you see anything wrong with it? 839-1059.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chevy. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock. Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, Impalas, Malibus, Cruises, even the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. Take $12,000 off. Have a job clearing $350 a week? Berlin Chevy wants to approve you for the credit you deserve. 2015 Chevy Cruze, just $167 per month lease. Plus, we'll take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the littlest, coolest town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chevy. Find new roads on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $58,650 with $8,798 factory rebates to dealer and $3,202 dealer discount. Stock number 3725. Cruise 36 month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9.
Hey, Cricket, Metro PCS, or T-Mobile customers. For a limited time, slash your payment in half when you switch to Boost Mobile. With Cricket, Metro, or T-Mobile, you'll pay $40 a month for a plan. But with Boost, you'll pay half that on a monthly service plan. That's just $20 a month for 12 months, plus you get 2.5 gigs of high-speed data to go with it. Hurry into your local Boost Mobile store today for details, and check out the lineup of the latest Samsung Galaxy phones. Offer valid until 9/30/15. Requires valid in-store port from select Cricket, Metro PCS, or T-Mobile wireless plan to eligible Boost monthly plan at participating indirect dealers. Excludes BoostMobile.com and national retailers. Not all competitor plans will have equivalent Boost plan, and certain competitor plan services may not be included. After 12 months, promotional plan expires, and plan automatically changes to higher price equivalent plan. Not combinable with certain other promotions. State and local sales taxes or fees may apply when adding funds. Coverage and offers not available everywhere. Boost reserves a right to modify, extend, or cancel offer at any time. Prohibited use rules and other restrictions apply. See participating dealer for complete details. Cricket is a registered trademark of Cricket Communications Incorporated. Metro PCS is a registered trademark of T-Mobile USA Incorporated, DBA Metro PCS. T-Mobile is a trademark of Deutsche Telekom AG.
Smoked tobacco is a lethal product that kills 1 in 2 of its regular users, who lose on average 10 years of life. Smokers die from the tar particles and toxic gases drawn into the body from smoking rather than from the nicotine. However, it is the nicotine that is addictive. Many smokers find it very difficult to give up the nicotine and will continue to smoke cigarettes without an alternative. That's why products like nicotine replacement therapy were invented and are licensed as safe to use. While e-cigarettes are currently unregulated and not licensed as smoking cessation products, the British National Institute for Health acknowledges that their use is safer than continued smoking. This is not simply an opinion. It is an evidence-based statement, and one that is supported by tobacco control organizations in the United Kingdom. Have you considered reducing your smoking risk by switching to the electronic cigarette? Come to one of Delmar Vapor Lounge's convenient locations on Route 113 in Millsboro at the Mill Pond Plaza, or Route 13 in the Food Line Shopping Plaza, Delmar, where you can still try an e-cigarette before you buy one.
It's time now for the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report with John Butler, heard every morning at this time.
Good morning, anglers. Lots of surf action this weekend from the Fall Surf Fishing Classic. I saw lots of spearling and mullet in the surf, and that turned the bluefish and kingfish action on. Lots of it. I caught so many bluefish in the last 2 days, my arms are sore. Saw a few big skates and rays as well. Couple anglers caught flounder and cobia in the surf. Excellent tournament put on by Old Inlet Bait and Tackle. 275 total anglers fished in the tournament, and congratulations to all the winners. Okay, offshore and inshore action was good as well. Jack and Ricky brought 10 nice-sized triggerfish to Lewis Harbor Marina, the biggest one weighing 3.81 pounds. Catch of the weekend goes to Bruce Carlson and Ron Miller. Check this out. They were drifting squid for flounder at the Cape May Reef when they hooked into a 72-pound black-tip shark. Yep, they caught it on 30-pound mono, avoiding the sharp teeth by hooking right in the corner of its mouth with a circle hook. They brought the catch to Lewis Harbor Marina for a photo op. Awesome catch, guys. And by the way, we've seen more and more lizardfish caught around the Indian River lately. They're a tropical warm water fish that make their way to Delaware now and then, but the last couple weeks people have been catching them more frequently. They are a longer, thin fish with copper-like colors and lots of teeth, and ugly-looking fish often mistaken for snakehead. It is my understanding that they actually make great flounder bait. All right, tight lines and be safe out there. I'm John Butler with the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report.
Right. We recommend cutting their head off. Right. Or whatever. I don't know. Thank you, Fishing Report. John Butler, 6:39 at Delaware 105.9. Fishing Report every morning after the 6:30 and 9:30 news. I didn't drive into Rehoboth this weekend, so I didn't notice, and I'm asking if you noticed, the new Hawk traffic signal at 1 and 1A. I guess ideally, I don't know. Is it something you're supposed to notice? It's a brand new kind of traffic signal, the first one in Delaware. Did you see it? Did you notice it? Did you get stopped by it? 839-1059. It was unveiled just this weekend, I guess. It's called Hawk, which stands for High Intensity Activated Crosswalk. And here's how it works. If you missed this, here's the traffic signal engineer at DelDOT. Here's how the traffic signal works. It looks like two red lights. It's like a triangular-shaped light arrangement. In other words, there's two red lights, and then underneath that in the center, there's one yellow light. And I guess that's what you see as the driver, I take it?
The signal goes to a flashing yellow, then a solid yellow, then a solid red. That's when the pedestrian gets the walk signal. Halfway through the walk signal, it becomes a flashing red. That's when the countdown begins on the pedestrian signal. So at that time, the countdown begins. It goes to a flashing red. The motorists are then allowed to go, but only when a pedestrian's clear.
So it's flashing red. You can go if the pedestrian's not in your way. Is that what they're saying? Like, it'll be flashing yellow, then solid yellow, then flashing red and red, and then it starts flashing again, and you can go, but only if the pedestrian's not in your way. Did I get that right? That's what it seems like to me, Kelly.
You know what I'm hearing here?
Confusion?
Disaster.
What are you talking about?
Well, because people don't understand all the flashing, and then
right.
and then it's it stays red and then more flashing, and they don't understand it, so there's going to be more accidents than there were before.
We'll see. It's supposed to be the safest way to cross, apparently. Hey, Butch, did you drive through?
Yeah, actually, Dan, I just come through there a few minutes ago. It kind of it's a lot of lights, but it looks like it's just short of a railroad crossing. That's about the only thing it needs to make it to make it to the point where we'd actually stop, and pay attention.
So yeah, it's kind of like the railroad crossing with the two lights next to each other.
Looks like a railroad crossing, only it's hung up high in the air.
But you haven't seen, it wasn't lit up because nobody pressed the light, I guess.
No,
nobody
it wasn't
pressed
lit
the
up. It was still dark this morning, but I mean, if you put railroad crossings on it, it looked like you could probably run a freight train through there.
All right. Well, I'm kind of doing this topic to let everyone be aware that it's there, because it sounds like it's going to take people by surprise, I guess. Right?
It definitely is. It sure is.
All right, Butch, thank you. All right, telling us a little bit about the look of it, of the hawk signal. I'm all for the best way to allow pedestrians to cross the road on Route 1 at several points. I'm a big advocate of that, but I just kind of want to know how it's playing out with you. George has a question about it. My number is 839-1059. Hi, George.
Hi, George.
Hi, Dan.
I got a question. I haven't heard anybody say.
Hi, George.
Does it stop north and southbound lanes?
Well, I would assume because you got to walk across both, right?
It does, like that guy said, Delaware dummies.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, you got to have a safe way for people to cross.
Well, where is it exactly? Is it at? How many lanes is it crossing?
Well, it says it's at 1 and 1A leading into Rehoboth.
No,
the signal goes to a flashing yellow.
Right there where you go to the park and ride?
What? No, further down. 1A. 1A is the road that branches off into Rehoboth Avenue.
Right. And it's where the traffic light is down at that corner.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to picture it because I don't know. I think Kelly's right. It's an accident looking to happen because people are stupid anymore. I've never seen so many dumb drivers in all my life as there is around this area in the last 2 years. They don't know what time of day it is. They don't know what direction they're going. They don't know what to do with a stop sign. Delbot doesn't know how to design these intersections. Do you know where Sweetbriar Road hooks up to Hudson Road? Where, if you go out Hudson Road, where that motorcycle crash was?
Yes. Yes.
Before you come to Cave Neck Road, there's a little turn to the left.
A little triangle there. Yes.
Yes. Go to that stop sign trying to cross Cave Neck Road going Sweetbriar Road going south. You have to pull your front of your car 2 or 3 feet out in the intersection before you can see now, because they made a left turn lane on the northbound at the corner, and it forces the traffic going straight over to the shoulder of the road, basically, right out to the very edge.
Right. In other words, if you're coming up Hudson Road and you want to go to Sweetbriar, when you're crossing Cave Neck, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
And you got to pull out into Cave Neck Road real far?
Pull out into Cave Neck Road to see if any cars are coming from the south.
And you're telling me that that's poor design?
Oh, you can't see. People coming north on Cave Neck Road have to drift over and be halfway into the turn lane to keep from hitting your car. I tried telling that idiot down there at the Del Dot that that's an accident going to happen. And believe me, it will happen.
Calling him an idiot and everything, I don't understand why he wouldn't listen to you.
I don't know either. I told him, I said, you know what they did to alleviate it? They cut some tree branches off.
Is that what they need to do?
No, they need to cut the trees down. because you got a whole line of trees, 8 or 9 trees around alongside the road, and if you line them up, you can't see down that road. You don't watch out where you're pulling.
Hey, George, thanks for the call. We're asking you about the new Hawk traffic signal at 1 and 1A. If you drove through there this weekend, did anybody press the button? Did you notice it? Did you experience it? That's what we're asking. A traffic note here. There was an accident within the hour reported at Route 16 and Route 30, Milton area. That's near Kemp's Liquors. You might want to avoid that area.
Local news first, then CBS News. Every hour, on the hour. Whatever happens next, happens here. We're Delaware 105.9.
And our meteorologist, Steve Williams, is here.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight. Low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents. High 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night, low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day on Wednesday, high 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
All right, this morning at this hour, cloudy in Lewis, 66 degrees, 67 degrees in the boardwalk in Rehoboth. If you love Greek food, Turkish food, Middle Eastern food, we love talking about Semras. For a while, we called it a little hidden gem in downtown Rehoboth. It's still a great place, still hidden to a lot of you. Semras Mediterranean Grill, 19 Rehoboth Avenue. 19 Rehoboth Avenue. Less than a block from the ocean. The parking meters are off starting today, and Semras says, locals, come on back downtown. This restaurant voted Best of Delaware for Mediterranean food. Semras, making everything fresh, using authentic recipes handed down from her grandmother. Authentic gyros, gyros, shish kebabs, falafel, souvlaki, vegetarian and vegan dishes, amazing appetizers. Their hummus is killer. Just super. Eggplant salad, stuffed grape leaves. The recently remodeled restaurant has a classy but cozy atmosphere. It invites you to sit down, relax, order some baba ganoush and warm pita and some Turkish tea. Delicious. Semras also serving beer, wine, and a limited selection of vodka and ouzo. Call 226-GYRO, 226-GYRO, Semras Mediterranean Grill, a block from the ocean, downtown Rehoboth. You want great food, snacks, and appetizers for game day. They cater. They'll lay out a whole platter. That's great. 226-GYRO. You can pick it up curbside if you want. You walk into Semras, they got like the carry-out area, and you can keep going through the next set of doors and go dine back there, sit down if you want. So, I love it. Semras, 226-GYRO.
Commercial buildings all over Delmarva need energy-efficient and reliable roofing services. Protect your business with Delmarva Roofing and Coating. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial roofing systems, Delmarva Roofing and Coating has built a reputation for quality. With a Conklin system installed by Delmarva Roofing and Coating, the roof of your business will be able to withstand the weather and last for decades while consistently lowering your heating and air conditioning costs. Increase the lifespan of your roof and choose the roofing leaders of Delmarva. Delmarva Roofing and Coating. Find out more at delmarvaroofing.com.
It's football season. Catch the game on a new TV from Atlantic Pawn, or check your fantasy team on a new laptop or tablet from Atlantic Pawn, or maybe play some Madden football on a new gaming console from Atlantic Pawn. No matter what you need or want this football season, Atlantic Pawn can help you score big savings on electronics, tools, guitars, and especially jewelry. Hey, she puts up with you. She deserves it. Save big, win big. Atlantic Pawn in the Rodney Village Shopping Center. Stop in or call 672-PAWN.
It was a tough time for me. With divorce and bankruptcy, facing the possibility of not being able to pay my electric bill. If they shut my power off, it would have cost me hundreds of dollars to get it back on. I needed cash. Who could I turn to? Atlantic Finance, that's who. That loan saved me a lot of worry, a lot of money, kept my lights on.
Even if you don't have a checking account, we can help. And your information is kept private. Atlantic Finance, Delmarva's local lender. Call 730-1988. That's 730-1988.
When you're backed up, call Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. Toilet won't flush, you need to call us at Central Backhoe Services. We'll pump your septic, repair and install. When something doesn't smell right, you know who to call. Get a good flow from Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
It could be a simple septic repair, or maybe something a little more complex. No matter what your situation is, Central Backhoe Services, your full-service, licensed, experienced wastewater system professional, can help. Contact them at 398-6420 or visit their website at centralseptic.com. Central Backhoe Services, locally owned and operated, serving Delaware's septic and excavation needs for over 20 years.
When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
Hi, I'm Abby Pobuski from State Farm in Wilmington. Every day, 7 teens die from car crashes due to inexperience, indecision, speed, distraction, or drowsiness. These deaths are preventable. That's why Smart Drive created a free online program that helps young drivers using games, videos, and real-life scenarios to prepare them for facing real driving situations. It's online, free, and you can win great prizes like college scholarships and gift cards, all for learning to be a smarter driver. For more information, visit smartdriveusa.org.
Okay, it's a new traffic signal for pedestrians. I'm all for these safe travel lanes for pedestrians. I just want to know if you drove by Route 1 and 1A this weekend, did you even notice this thing? The new Hawk signal. It sounds confusing when you first hear it to me. I think it's funny to hear the guy from DelDOT explain it. Sounds a little, it's going to flash this way, then it's going to go solid, then this light, and it looks different than a regular traffic light as well. It's got 2 red lights at the top and a yellow light underneath. So it's 2 red lights, then a yellow light underneath in the center of that. And they flash and go solid, and you're supposed to know what to do if you're driving.
Then a solid yellow, then a solid red. That's when the pedestrian gets the walk signal. Halfway through the walk signal, it becomes a flashing red. That's when the countdown begins on the pedestrian signal. So at that time, the countdown begins. It goes to a flashing red. The motorists are then allowed to go, but only when a pedestrian's clear.
So it'll go to flashing red, and that's when you can go only if the pedestrian is clear. Because a flashing red is like a stop sign. Stop. If it's clear, you can go. Solid red, you can't go. I get it. I think I get it, Kelly. I think I'm getting it now after about the 5th listen. And there's a picture of it, right, online? Do you have a picture of it, Colin? He put it on the video, actually. We're streaming on YouTube this morning. If you go to youtube.com and search The Dan Gaffney Show, we have a 3-camera setup in here. And 839-1059. All right, so all I'm asking is the new pedestrian signal. Oh, what do you think? Do you get it, Colin? I saw you were watching the graphic online. Colin can come to this microphone.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand it. And I don't think heading south, there was no signal at the southbound to begin with, was there?
No.
Because no traffic crossed there. But yeah, no, I understand it. If you understand a flashing red light, and a flashing yellow light, you should understand it.
Yeah, that's right. On the insider line, Dan, how long before they put a traffic camera on this thing? Oh, for red lights? Oh, for tickets? Hey, that'd be a good idea. Be a good idea. I think the weird thing is, though, it looks different. That's all. You're seeing 2 red lights, and they're flashing, and then a yellow that's flashing. I guess that means caution. Then a solid yellow, which means it's going to change to red. I don't know why they have to have 2 red lights at the top. I don't get that. What is that, Kelly?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call DelDOT Secretary today, Jen Cohen. I'm going to say, get rid of the new device.
No, you're not.
And just install a gate that comes crashing down and stops all traffic.
I've seen, actually, a gate at a college town. I forget where it was years and years ago. Their pedestrian cross did have a gate. that came down like on a main street. There was a college town in a main street, and we like ring these bells when people could walk, and we'd go like, and the gates would come down just to keep, because all the students were crossing.
There you go. That'll work.
Yeah. We don't have that many crossing that at that time. This is a pedestrian signaled situation. Speaking of situations, you need to call Ruth Harrington of Nutrisystem here. Ruth Harrington, Nutrisystem, Weight Loss Center. She's going to tell us where she's located. Get her on the air here at 6:57. We have a minute or so to talk with her. Just about how you can lose weight the Nutrisystem way. These foods are specially formulated for weight loss. And Ruth is with us right now. So, Ruth, the special formulation, what does that mean? It's added protein, right?
Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Are you there?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to turn you off. I have the radio on.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. Got it off. Yes, it's a low-glycemic diet. We give you a list of all the healthy vegetables that you can eat.
Yeah.
Like I had a woman call the other day, and she said, I can't remember the vegetables I can have when I'm out. And I said, well, it's basically all the green vegetables and cauliflower.
Right. So you can add these to the Nutrisystem weight loss program. Ruth, you're on Route 1. You're authorized distributor for Nutrisystem. When are you open?
We're open at 9:30 to 6, Monday through Thursday, Friday 9 to 5, and Saturday 10 to 2, and by appointment. And you can call and ask us questions.
Sure.
It's a great diet, and everybody tells me now they're getting into shape for the holidays.
Thank you, Ruth Harrington. And you can get in shape for the holidays, too, at Nutrisystem.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 6:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy and breezy today. No rain in the forecast, though. A fiery early morning crash in Sussex County means a DUI charge for a New Jersey man. State police say Michael Fitzpatrick was driving his pickup truck northbound on Route 5 near Milton Sunday morning when the truck crossed over Route 1 and traveled into Brumbley's Family Park. The pickup hit 2 tree stumps and a decorative rock before slamming into yet another tree and bursting into flames. Newcastle County paramedics attending to 5 people injured in a Saturday night crash. This accident happened shortly before 11 on North DuPont Highway. Paramedics arriving to find a 4-vehicle collision involving 3 cars and 1 SUV. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis. Delaware 105.9. It's 7 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sittapani. Vespers at an 18th century cathedral and a speech to young people capped a busy weekend in Cuba for Pope Francis. In his talk, the Pope took a jab at communism, urging young Cubans to serve one another, not an ideology.
Dream that you can make things better. Don't forget it. Dream.
The Pope spent 40 minutes visiting with Fidel Castro. CBS's Alan Pizzi tells us he hasn't met with Cuban dissidents.
Pope Francis has so far not made any big-ticket visits to the poor or to prisoners. And as far as we know, prisoners are certainly not on the list. He will be doing that in the U.S., and it has been a feature of every one of his trips.
The Pope travels to Washington tomorrow. Before leaving Rome, he fielded questions about his U.S. visit from CBS's Scott Pelley.
Will you speak of immigration and the dispossessed in America? I shall talk about what the Holy Spirit will inspire me to say.
The Pope with Scott Pelley on 60 Minutes. Muslim groups are calling on Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson to drop out of the race. On NBC's Meet the Press yesterday, Carson said he would not advocate having a Muslim president. In a statement later in the day, a spokesman said Carson meant that Americans aren't ready for a Muslim president. Some of Apple's apps have been hacked. Live to CBS News correspondent Vicki Barker.
Apple confirms that about 40 apps with malicious code or malware have been found in its online Apple Store. The messaging app WeChat among those affected, as well as the business card scanner CamCard. The hackers apparently did not crack Apple's software. Instead, they penetrated copies commonly used by Chinese developers. Apple's still investigating a breach it acknowledges could affect hundreds of millions of customers. Frank?
Officials in East Selma, Alabama blame a domestic dispute for a shooting during a Sunday church service. They say the gunman wounded his ex-girlfriend, their infant son, and a pastor. There was a traffic jam yesterday in Middletown, California, as wildfire evacuees were finally allowed to go home to see what, if anything, was left.
Been waiting all week. Kind of a nice moment to get up there, but on the other hand, I'm not sure I'm ready to see it.
The number of homes lost to the Middletown Inferno and a second major fire has gone past 1,000. A new fire broke out in Monterey County over the weekend and left one person dead. Fire Captain Mark Adria says it's only 10% contained.
It's so dry, so hot. Now we're getting some winds. The fire has given us a tough time, and it's pretty hard to control.
Last night's Emmy Awards on Fox made TV history.
The Emmy goes to Viola Davis.
Davis became the first African-American to win a Best Dramatic Actress Emmy. 8-time Mad Men nominee John Hamm finally won Best Dramatic Actor. HBO's Game of Thrones won a record 12 Emmy Awards. S&P futures are up 4 points. This is CBS News.
Remember when a small business needed a landline? Today, the world is your office with Grasshopper, the entrepreneur's phone system. On the road, at the beach, or at home, Grasshopper helps you grow your business with all the features of a business phone system and the freedom of a cell phone. Features include multiple extensions for your team, calls forwarded to your mobile phones, voicemails transcribed and emailed, and so much more. See how it works at grasshopper.com, the entrepreneur's phone system.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 7:04.
And the news brought to you by Apple Electric. Electricity is not a hobby. Call Apple 645-5105.
All right, Dan, Delaware State Police have issued a gold alert for a missing Dover woman. Police say 27-year-old Kimberly Dorman was last seen about 11:15 Sunday night at her home in the unit block of Manor Drive. Dorman is white, 5'6", weighs 180 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. You can see her picture today on our website at Delaware105.9.com. Beachgoers in Rehoboth will get a surprise today. Free parking starts in downtown Rehoboth Beach. And in case you're interested, you'll have to start feeding the meters again in Rehoboth on the Friday before Memorial Day of 2016. Philadelphia has already started towing vehicles in preparation for Pope Francis's visit this week. City Parking Authority trucks honked their horns to give people who had parked near the Benjamin Franklin Parkway a chance to move their vehicles on Sunday night. The Secret Service wants all the vehicles off the streets nearest the parkway as a security precaution. Vehicles that are towed before Thursday are relocated, and motorists will receive a $76 ticket. Motorists can avoid the tow if they obtain windshield cards from the parking authority, but the vehicles must be moved by Thursday. That towing will continue until Friday morning in downtown Philadelphia. Delaware State Police investigating a crash involving two cars in Long Neck. Police say the incident happened just after 10 a.m. Sunday as a Chevy sedan was northbound on Long Neck Road near the Mariners Cove and Fairfield developments when, for unknown reasons, it crossed the center line and struck a southbound Kia sedan on the driver's side, causing that car to hit a utility pole. The Chevy also crashed into another utility pole. No word on if either driver was hurt or not. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 7:06.
Honey, I'd really like to add a few recessed lights to the living room and a ceiling fan on the porch.
I love our new hot tub. Who can we call to hook it up?
They're calling for another nasty winter. Do you think we should install a generator? Who do we call?
Call Apple Electric at 302-645-5105. Their electrical estimator will meet with you at no cost to discuss your options and present you with a professional proposal. Call Apple Electric now at 302-645-5105 for your free estimate. Apple Electric, 645-5105.
On Sunday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers won the rematch of last year's NFC title game, beating Seattle 27-17. Aaron Rodgers tossed 2 touchdowns in the win, while Russell Wilson threw for 206 yards, 2 scores, and a pivotal fourth-quarter interception for the Seahawks. Earlier in the day, the Redskins used a steady rushing attack and stout defense to even their record at 1-1, beating the Rams 24-10. Matt Jones ran for 123 of the Redskins' 182 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr's 12-yard touchdown pass to Seth Roberts with 26 seconds left gave the Raiders a 37-33 win over the Ravens. Baltimore falls to 0-2. Steve Smith caught 10 passes for 150 yards in the loss. And the Eagles also fell to 0-2 as their offense rushed for just 7 yards and turned it over 3 times as they lose to Dallas 20-10. In baseball, the Nats beat the Marlins 13-3. The O's lose to Tampa 7-6, and the Phillies fall in Atlanta 2-1. And Denny Hamlin wins the first chase race in Chicago. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
And from the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, going to start your work week off with mostly cloudy conditions. Going to be breezy all this week. Rough surf and rip currents possible along the beaches today. A high of 73. Low clouds tonight, breezy. An overnight low of 65. Tuesday looks cloudy and windy. Again, rough surf and rip currents possible along the beaches tomorrow. Keep that in mind if you're headed that direction. A high tomorrow, 74 on Wednesday. The sunshine returns, going to be quite pleasant. A high of 76. It's 67 degrees right now on the Circle in Georgetown. 70 down in Maryland in Ocean Pines. 64 in downtown Milford. I'm Kelly Steele. In the Delaware 105.9 newsroom, more of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
So it's been over a week since the Miss America pageant, and people are still buzzing about the nurse, Miss Colorado. Are you tracking with this at all? The idea is I stand with nurses, and this whole thing, a backlash against criticism against Miss Colorado. Have you heard about this? Miss America is not really on my radar screen, but I did notice that there was some controversy at the beginning of the week. The View, the ladies' chat show on TV. Terrible show, by the way. Horrible. They'd have nothing to say. But anyway, that show criticized Miss Colorado's talent because what she did while other people are dressed in, dancing, singing, piano, whatever, she was in her nurse's scrubs, stethoscope, nurse scrubs, did a monologue about her nursing work with an Alzheimer's patient. Okay, fair enough. The View, I don't know, some of the ladies on that show critiqued her, and sponsors have pulled out. Eggland's Best Eggs, Procter or Johnson & Johnson, not Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, I think, maybe a few others. Another sponsor, it's taken them like a week, kind of dropped out of the show. They don't want to be a part of it. And more people are saying, I stand with this woman. And beyond that, standing with nurses. This is giving nursing some sort of shot in the arm here. And it's still going on here over a week later. I have often called nurses, they're not the unsung heroes, they are, but nurses run the medical field. Okay, let's be honest. It's not the doctors. Nurses. The doctors would be lost in a lot of cases, totally lost without the nurses. The nurses are the ones, if you spend any time in a medical facility, just look around. The nurses are getting it done. And without them, the whole system collapses. Seriously. So hats off to the nurses. They're the ones, that do all the important work in a hospital. I'm not diminishing you doctors, but you know that often the nurses keep the doctors straight. The nurses are there to double check a doctor who gives the wrong order. The nurses are there caring for the patients. Nurses are there lifting people, rolling them over, cleaning them up, whatever, all the hard stuff, all the terrible stuff that nurses do. So I'm with nurses too. But I'm going to play the talent portion of Miss Colorado's thing because it's still in the news. And I thought, hey, what's all the buzz? What's the buzz here? So let's hear it. This is Miss America contest. Miss Colorado. Again, I know it's a week old, right? Miss Colorado, Kelly Johnson. Here's her talent. She's in purple scrubs and a stethoscope in her model. It's like 2 minutes. I think it's like 2 minutes long. That's the end of some dancer.
Talent competition performance is from Miss Colorado.
Now, what's interesting is they have these contestants sitting there on a bench, and they're like in evening gowns and, sequin dresses and all these things. And there's one, she's in her scrubs. Okay, so it really looks different. Right away, you can say, hey, something's up here. But it's very clear that she's a nurse or a doctor.
It's important for me to honor Joe, who was the patient that I talk about in my monologue, because Alzheimer's is not fun, but it's going to be okay, and I think that I show that to the world.
Performing an original monologue, here is Kelly Johnson,
Here
Miss
she is.
Colorado.
Every nurse has a patient that reminds them why they became a nurse in the first place. Mine was Joe. Joe was in the beginning stages of Alzheimer's. He had moments with and moments without his memory. But the hardest part about the aging condition for Joe were his night terrors. He would wake up in the middle of the night screaming absolute bloody murder. But if I just went into his room and sat with him for a little while, I could usually calm him down. But then he wanted to talk. He'd ask me if I could change his treatments, and I'd say, no, Joe, I can't do that. I'm just a nurse. Well, what about my medications? Can you fix those? And I'd say, no, Joe, I can't. I'm just a nurse. But because I couldn't do those things for him, we connected on other levels. He'd ask me about volleyball, and we'd talk about his grandbabies, and he'd tease me about being the only nurse on the unit that can reach the gauze on the top shelf. It was a lot of laughs with Joe. But one night, everything changed. I found him in his room crying, and I lifted his head up out of his hands, and I said, Joe, I know that this is really hard, but you are not just Alzheimer's. You are still Joe. And he looked right back at me, almost to look through me, and said, Nurse Kelly, then the same goes for you. Although you say it all the time, you are not just a nurse. You are my nurse, and you have changed my life because you've cared about me. And that's when it hit me. Patients are people with family and friends, and I don't want to be a nurse that ever pretends, because you're not a room number and a diagnosis when you're in the hospital. You're a person, very first. And Joe reminded me that day that I am a lifesaver. I'm never going to be just a nurse.
Oh, that was it? And there you go. And that, of all things, has resonated with people across the country that say, now, I stand with nurses. By the way, crazy Miss America, I was watching the clip that you were listening to. While she's talking, they put up a little statistic, flashes up on the screen. 6'1" without heels.
What?
While she's talking, the Miss America, they throw stats up about the woman. She's 6'1" without heels.
Wow.
That was the stat they threw up. I don't know why that's important, but I guess it is in the context of Miss America. 6'1" without heels. While she's doing this serious monologue about her nursing care. Bubble comes up. 6'1" without heels. The go figure. All right, so good for her. And I don't know, what's the deal? I stand with nurses. Do you stand with nurses? Yeah, I stand with nurses. Seriously, right? 839-1059. I think we have some great nurses in the area. So if you're a nurse, maybe you worked 11 to 7 last night, and you're now driving home at 7:15. Has there been any buzz in your profession about this Miss Colorado issue? And maybe you've had great care from a nurse in Delaware recently. 839-1059. 839-1059. We'd love to hear from you if that's the case. All right. And if you have anything you would like to say about nurses, Delaware, first state nurses, kind of interested in seeing all the support for nurses because of this Miss Colorado. Her monologue did its job, I guess. John is here from Greenwood. Hello, John.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, the basic question I was listening to you, just turned you on, is support for nurses. Absolutely. My aunt was a nurse, and she was in the Navy, and came out of captain. She was a surgical nurse, so I definitely, well, even if she wasn't, I would still support them. But as being a patient, if you don't know what nurses do, you missed it, and I doubt if anybody missed it. But definitely. But could I ask you something? Did somebody sponsors pull out because of what she did?
No, they pulled out of The View because a couple of the hosts of The View mocked her and criticized her, made a joke about her having a stethoscope. Why does she have a stethoscope? Just dumb comments about nurses, and the backlash has been so great, sponsors have pulled out of that program.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't think anybody would pull out because of the monologue she did.
No. They're pulling out because they support her and they disagreed with the critiques. Probably sponsors that are unhappy with being on the show anyway, and they use this as an excuse because the show's very poor.
Right. Yeah, but I definitely give them 100%. I mean, when I was a patient in there, I mean, I even got to the point where they were so busy, and me and the other guy in the bed were helping each other out to give them a hand. That's how short they were. So I definitely got to give them 100%. And I'm just so tired of the reality of what actually happens to nurses. And that's in both states that I've been in both hospitals, that's Jersey and Delaware. But definitely got to go with them.
Yeah, well, what is the reality that happens to nurses? What do you mean?
Well, they don't get when you hear about, the hours that they have and the disrespect they get for their job. I mean, they don't get treated as well as people think they do in the actual working hospitals. I mean, the ones that I've been in. I mean, they're either cutting your hours or, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. That's my experience. Like I said, I've been in the hospital about 5 times, Jersey, and maybe twice in Delaware, and that's what I saw going on. And that's the complaints that they had. Call us in whenever they want. We don't like it. They do this. I mean, I don't know what. People are awake and know what's actually going on. I don't know how widespread it is. Maybe it's when I was in the hospital, that's what I heard, and that's it. I don't know. But
yeah, well, listen, John, thanks for the call. John in Greenwood, like hearing from you. Thank you very much. 839-1059. 839-1059. Let's go to Wayne in Georgetown. Hello, Wayne.
Morning, Dan. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
I think they might have flashed that height thing on there because the patient used to kid her about she was the only one that could reach the top shelf to get the draws.
Yeah, 6'1" without heels, absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably why they flashed it on there because of his comment. You have a great day.
Hey, listen, thank you. Yeah, I think I get that. Wayne, thanks for pointing it out, though. All right. Delaware 105.9, 720. Time for Traffic Watch and Robin Bryson. Let's see if we have our connection issue fixed.
Dan, traffic's been moving pretty well around the region this morning. In and out of Dover, a little bit of busy activity along 13, north and southbound. No major jams or delays, though. 13 working your way through Harrington and then into Sussex County through Bridgeville and Seaford. In each of the towns, a little bit of sluggish activity, but really not a bad ride this morning. Route 24 runs well right through Millsboro and out toward Route 1. Route 1 along the coast, seeing light activity around 5 points and working your way across the Indian River Inlet Bridge, both north and southbound. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
All right, here's your complete forecast. Meteorologist Steve Williams.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight. Low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents. High 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night, low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day on Wednesday, high 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
It's overcast and 65 degrees in Lewis.
Hi, it's Justine from Mr. P's Pizzeria in Lewis. I am happy to announce we are now open 7 days a week. Yes, folks, open every day. We're an authentic wood-fire pizzeria with a full menu. We make our own dough and use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese. 16 years in business, busier than ever. We also specialize in craft beer with 19 taps available, including cask and nitro. Easily found on Kings Highway in Lewis, 645-1900. Slices every day, 11:30 to 3. See you soon.
You can control mosquitoes, no-see-ums, biting flies, and all the annoying insects around your yard with a Lawns Unlimited Mist Away system. Here's Jean of Milton.
It's awesome. I mean, we have a house in the woods, and so the little mosquitoes, the wooden mosquitoes, boy, they just come out like around 4 o'clock. And since we've had this system, we're able to sit out on the front porch or the back deck, and has it timed so it doesn't bother my butterflies or my bees, which is very good. But it just gave us the outdoors back again. Absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about it.
The Mist Away system is all automatic, and it's installed professionally, of course, by Lawns Unlimited. 645-LAWN, 645-5296.
And we have no problems at all.
There's never been a more effective way of preventing bites in your yard. Call Lawns Unlimited, 645-5296, lawnsunlimited.com.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chevy. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock. Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, Impalas, Malibus, Cruises, even the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. Take $12,000 off. Have a job clearing $350 a week? Berlin Chevy wants to approve you for the credit you deserve. 2015 Chevy Cruze, just $167 per month lease. Plus, we'll take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the littlest, coolest town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chevy. Find new roads on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $58,650 with $8,798 factory rebates to dealer and $3,202 dealer discount. Stock number 3725. Cruise 36 month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Thanks for listening to Delaware 105.9 on your radio. And for your convenience, streaming live online. Visit Delaware105.9.com to hear local news and talk for Delmarva online, streaming 24/7. Sponsored in part by Dart First State. Let Dart do the driving. Save money, save gas, ride greener. Bus route statewide between Rehoboth, Georgetown, Dover, and Wilmington. Delaware 105.9. Streaming live at Delaware105.9.com.
Gary Marsiglia is on the phone. He and his wife Jean own Castrol Premium Lube Express. Millsboro. It's on 113 North. I mean, just north of the Lowe's and the BJ's there in Millsboro. And sometimes, I guess, for some people, getting an oil change can be kind of a problem. Right, Gary?
Yes, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning.
How many times have you taken your vehicle to a shop for an oil change only to be told, I'm too busy right now, or just leave it, and I'll get to it as soon as I can? This should not be how you are treated. An oil change service is one of the most important automotive services you will receive. Engine oil is the heart of your engine, and the service and products need to be to perfection. There is no room for substitute or error. When you bring your vehicle to Castrol Premium Lube Express in Millsboro, you will never be told we are too busy or we'll get to it when we can. Each and every customer is equally important to us, whether it is your first or 21st visit, and there is never a need for an appointment. Our goal is to exceed your expectations of what an oil change service be. This is why we have only quality Castrol oils and lubricants, very well-trained and friendly staff, along with a clean and professional facility. The truth to what you see is what you get. At Castrol Premium Lube Express in Millsboro, vehicle maintenance is always cheaper than vehicle repairs.
Nice. Route 113, just north of Lowe's and BJ's in Millsboro, Castrol Premium Lube Express. 726. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. There could be a reason why teenagers are perceived to be bad drivers. And it's because, according to a new study, it could be because their parents are bad drivers. And there's a big thing going on. Do as I say, not as I do. The traits of parents are pretty bad, so is it any wonder why the teenagers are picking up the bad traits? I'll tell you the results of that survey and that study coming up, and we'll see if you agree or disagree. That's coming up in a few minutes, Delaware, 727. We'll talk about it after the news at 7:30 on Delaware 105.9. Couple of other items in the news here. A British wine bar was hit with a $155,000 fine after a teenage girl threw back a shot of liquid nitrogen that was given to her on the house. Gabby Scanlon's, now 20, was out on the town in Lancaster, not Pennsylvania. This is in England. Lancaster. Celebrating her 18th birthday. Staff member gave her a nitro Jägermeister shot. She asked the guy, is it okay to drink? He said yes. She downed it. She became instantly ill. She eventually had to have her stomach removed. Liquid nitrogen? Is that what she drank? Anyway, they are held liable. Here's a guy who stole a cell phone from a business in Trenton, New Jersey, but returned it 4 days later with a letter of apology. But he's still in trouble with the police. The shop owner said he wasn't pressing charges, but the police are. The note said, I'm the one who took your phone. I'm in a desperate situation. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm not that type, but a situation can lead someone to do dumb things. They came back with the apology. That raises interesting questions, you know. Should he still get in trouble, even though the owner says, don't worry about it? It says he could still be in trouble with the police. All right. Florida woman had 3,500 knives, swords, and machetes in her home. Was arrested after a 5-hour standoff with police. Brooksville, Florida woman. They went to serve her with a felony arrest warrant for an alleged parole violation after she used a bladed weapon to damage a neighbor's window screen and air conditioning unit. She's a convicted felon. Investigators say she swung a sword at a deputy, then refused to exit her home when confronted. She was eventually taken into custody after a deputy stunned her with a taser, not a laser. I'm sure that means taser, even though it says laser in this copy, right? I don't think they're using lasers.
Laser to the eye.
Mm-hmm. A taser. Anyway, she had 3,500 of these things there. In addition to that, she had satanic items, according to reports. Whatever that is, satanic items, I'm not sure. Maybe Ozzy Osbourne records. I don't know. Here's Halper and I's news update. Kelly Steele, good morning.
Thank you, Dan. Dewey Beach voters make their choices in this year's municipal election. Former council member Dale Cook, current mayor Diane Hansen, and Mike Dunmire were the three top vote getters in Saturday's election. Former Mayor Del Tush finished out of that running over the weekend. Delaware State Police investigating the robbery of a Tallyville water ice store that occurred Saturday afternoon. Shortly before 5, police say a man confronted two female employees at the sales window of the Rita's Water Ice located on Concord Pike. The suspect was armed with an unknown type handgun and demanded the cash from the register. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 7:31.
CBS News Update. Pope Francis with a message to Cuba.
Francis told an estimated 200,000 people to beware of the dangers of ideology and the lure of selfishness. Service is never ideological, he said, as President Raul Castro and senior members of his communist government looked on.
CBS's Alan Pizzi reports that Francis met with President Castro and former leader Fidel Castro. Castro after yesterday's Mass. And today,
the Pope has 2 more Masses to hold here in Cuba, and then it's off to the United States, where the faithful are anxiously waiting in Washington, Philadelphia, and New York.
The Pope will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, in New York by Thursday night, and Philadelphia Saturday. Pope Francis spoke with CBS's Scott Pelley before the trip.
What is your goal for America?
Encontrar a la gente y encontrarme con ellos.
To meet people, he told us, just to meet with them.
It will be his first visit to the U.S. CBS News Update, I'm Heather Bosch.
Halpern Eye Care is focused on enhancing patients' quality of life through vision, with locations throughout Delaware, including the newest in Georgetown, specializing in comprehensive eye exams, 24-hour emergency care, medical and pediatric care, contact lenses, and the leader in designer eyewear. Halpern Eye Care performs the highest quality, most technologically advanced eye exams and ensure personal attention to each patient. Need an eye exam? Halpern Eye Care has convenient hours with evenings and weekends. Right now at Halpern Eye Care, receive a free frame with the purchase of lenses. That's right, you'll receive a free frame for a limited time at all Halpern Eye Care locations, and you don't need an eye exam to take advantage of this great offer. Outside prescriptions are welcome. Free frame for a limited time only at Halpern Eye Care locations. For complete details and to schedule your appointment, visit online, halperneye.com, or call 1-800-734-2010. Some restrictions apply. Visit halperneye.com for complete details. Expires 9/30/15.
Join us this Saturday for the Delmarva Potting Shed. I am Valerie Cordry, one of the hosts. Every Saturday from 9 to 11, Jake Smith and I will be broadcasting live from East Coast Garden Center. Be a part of our lively discussions about plants, landscaping, garden design, and all that's new and exciting. We'll sprinkle in some gardening guests to excite your interest and keep you up to date on the many interesting gardening happenings.
And the Delmarva Potting Shed brought to you by Lawns Unlimited, the exclusive mist-away dealer on Delmarva, installing misting and spraying systems to control insects for residential and commercial lawns. Call 645-5296 today or visit lawnsunlimited.com to get started. Also brought to you by Stokely Materials, providing high-quality pavers, retaining walls, decorative stones, sand, soil, and mulch with 2 locations, Route 113 in Georgetown and Route 9 in Lewis. Don't miss the Delmarva Potting Shed this Saturday from 9 to 11 here on Delaware 105.9.
Why waste time running from store to store comparing samples and swatches for your window coverings? Let Budget Blinds, your local experts, come to you. Our design consultants will bring samples, swatches, and styles to you so you can see how they look in your home. Or you can check out different ideas and trends at our showroom on Route 9, 4.5 miles west of 5 Points. From sales to installation, we make the process easy for you. Plus, we service all of our products. Call us at 856-6799 and let us get started on your new window coverings today.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
With KudaSign, paperless e-signing is a no-brainer for any business that requires legally binding signatures fast. That's because KudaSign offers everything you should expect from an electronic signature solution for just $1 per month. KudaSign cuts document turnaround time as much as 90%, thanks in part to its #1 rated mobile app. And KudaSign's secure cloud stores documents for on-demand tracking and retrieval. Get KudaSign now for just $1 per month. Go to KudaSign.com. That's CUDASIGN.com.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
And good morning. It's 7:35. Thanks for tuning in. Great to have you here on the sponsor hotline. It's Jim Weller, Weller's Utility Trailers. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Dan. And I just wanted to let people know that at Weller's, we do a lot of special order trailers, and it's the time of year that people that have race cars or stock cars or things like that start thinking about getting their new trailer, and they like to spec them out. A lot of them are usually ones that we special order where it has cabinets in it, or maybe it's a little taller than normal and you want a lot of lights and receptacles, maybe even lights outside in the side of the wall or at the rear of the trailer. And then we also have a lot of organizations and companies that order vendor trailers where they order it with, where the floor is dropped down and it has counters and it has a lot of cabinets, maybe it would have air conditioning or even heat, a lot of electric lights, things like that, sinks, and has like water tanks underneath and so on. So if you need a trailer, or maybe you just need an equipment trailer and you want it a little bit longer, or you want it to carry a heavier payload or something like that, we have many trailers in stock, and we try to have one of everything, but that's pretty much impossible. But we do specialize in special orders, and I just want to let you know that Brooks Ritter is the one that pretty much takes care of that. He does a real good job. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're thinking about buying a trailer and you want it just a certain way or a length or a bigger payload or taller or wider or whatever, we can accommodate you. So give us a call. Phone number's 337-8228, 337-8228. It's Wellers.com on the web. We're located right on Route 13 in Bridgeville. Trailers all over the place. We'd like you to like us on Facebook. We're the Wellers Utility Trailers there. And other than that, just give us a call again, 337-8228. Other than that, Dan, have a good day. It's going to be a great week, and I will talk to you again tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Jim Weller.
See ya.
I appreciate it. Let's go to David, is calling us from Salisbury on our support of nurses. Right, David?
Yeah, yes, sir. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I dated a nurse through the school that she had to have. And let me tell you, Joy Behar was the one that was making the comments. And she just lost the show earlier. And she was originally on The View, and then they brought her back. And she hadn't been on there that long before she opened her mouth, put her foot in. I doubt very seriously, knowing what I know, what this young lady had to go through in terms of a nursing school and how difficult it was to get through that. So that's my comment. They're the unsung heroes at the hospital, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we should, every one of us, appreciate them, because might be one day we'll be in that same scenario where we'll need a nurse.
So what was the situation? Now, you dated a woman while she was in nursing school?
I was amazed of the testing and the knowledge that she had to have, the amount of time it took for studying and what have you. Not only nursing school at the Peninsula General Hospital, but also had to attend Salisbury University. And then beyond that, she had to go to a mental hospital to deal with patients that were, and that was part of her training, just to graduate, become an RN. So, it's very intense, very intense.
Somebody on the
inside. Kudos to them, and I take my hat off, because I don't think most of us could get through that school.
Somebody on the insider line wants to know if she had to have a subject to practice her alcohol rub-downs.
I have no idea. All I did was pick her up on Friday and Saturdays, and we went out on dates.
I see, but there was no massaging going on?
No,
I guess
sir.
that's what someone wants to know.
Yeah.
So you dated her on Friday and Saturday nights only because she was too busy through the week?
Yep, very much so. I had a lot of studying to do.
Right. So where did you guys go out? What kind of dates did you go on?
Local places here in Salisbury and Delaware, Ocean City. But it was just the 2 days that we could go out based on the fact of her homework, what have you, she had to do and studying. But it was not an easy task. I was so amazed and impressed. She was a very smart girl, and I could see why she finished school.
Right on. Listen, it sounds like you really, it sounds like you miss her.
Well, that was my first wife.
Oh, it turned out you ended up marrying her?
I did.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. And I got married again, and my second wife was a school teacher.
Really?
So, pretty much, and I started from day one with her at the school held in Salisbury here by PGH is where they had their nursing school.
How long ago are we talking about here, David? How long ago?
It's been a few years back. I know I'm 64. I may look 34, but it was an experience for me to know that she had that goal set for herself, and she did what she had to do to achieve it.
What happened to her?
I think we just both part ways. I don't keep in contact with her. I think my wife would like that. So,
your current wife doesn't want you contacting the nurse.
Yeah, well, I used to be married to her, and of course that's years ago.
Right, I understand.
Being young and dumb.
Right.
And I was in police academy at the time when she was in school, so I take my hat off to her and all the nurses. I mean, it's not an easy program to get through, and once you do, it pretty much validates the smartness that you got to have just to get through that.
Now, if your school teacher wife was listening to you now, praising the nurse that you dated, do you think she would be jealous?
No, because it's being respectful of what she does for a living and the lives she saves.
Yeah, right. Right, and all nurses, right? And all nurses.
Absolutely, all nurses. And I got to say one thing, too. I mean, they're not easy dealing with doctors that comes in with an attitude or what have you. Nurses that get the blunt of that.
What was your most memorable date when you went out with this nurse? Like, where did you go? What was the best of all those dates on Friday and Saturday night?
Well, that's hard to say. I think every date that I went out with her should be special. I mean, we were just being together, and we thought we were in love, and it's part of a chance to get away and unwind.
Yeah.
So I think Ocean City played a role. I think going to Rehoboth, Delaware beaches.
It played a role? You mean? What do you mean, in the breakup or the...
No. Just having time we spend together. Born and raised in this area, we know all the hot spots.
Mm-hmm. Well, for instance, give me a for instance. What's a hot spot?
Well, it used to be a place called Hullabaloo years back here in Salisbury, and we used to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Boardwalk, of course, Delaware and Ocean City. Movies. Back then it was reasonable price. You could go to a movie and then go out to eat.
Right. You don't want to drop that kind of money on a date today. It's expensive.
Well, yeah, who can afford it? So, yeah, I mean, it was a good time. We were young people, and you worked to have fun on the weekends.
And you would probably get paid on Friday and
right.
Spend a whole chunk of change on her and then be broke on Monday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's how it worked, that's the way it was, young and dumb and not thinking about tomorrow. But, we both got out of school and life's been good for both of us, so.
All right. Who do you think works harder, the teacher or the nurse?
Man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't do either one of them. I mean, it's amazing. I couldn't do either one of them. I know my wife has a master's degree, working towards her doctorate. And I know, but
that's good. You'll be able to afford it.
She gets lives and made a big impact on patients in the hospital.
But when she gets her doctorate, she might get a pay bump, and then you can start going to the movies again.
Oh, no. Well, I'll tell you what, I just give all the respect to that profession, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Have a great day, sir. Bye-bye now.
There's David in Salisbury. Took quite interest in David, in his life, and, the dating scene. Hope you like that. All right, good stuff. Hey, listen, why are teenage drivers so bad? Could be because the parents are bad. We tell our teenagers what not to do behind the wheel of a car, but do we practice what we preach? Liberty Mutual did a survey of the teenagers. Teenage drivers. They surveyed 1,700 11th and 12th graders. And here's what teenagers say their parents do. All right. 91% of the teenagers surveyed, 91% said their parents are talking on the phone while driving. 91%. 88% of the teenagers notice their parents are speeding. How about it? Liberty Mutual did the survey. 59% of the teenagers say their parents are texting while driving. 47% of parents don't buckle up or if I've forgotten to buckle up at one point. A frightening 20%, the teenagers say 20% of their parents have been busted for DUI by their teenager. In other words, the teenager thinks they've been DUIing. Well, okay, even though they might not get arrested. The teenagers see their parents driving under the influence. And get this, 7% of the parents are driving high on pot. This is according to the teenagers. The teenagers talking about their parents. Now, the guy who did this study is a senior advisor for policy, research, and education at SAD. Is that Students Against Drunk Driving? Is that what that is? Said the best teacher for a teen driver is a good parental role model. Young drivers who witness this behind-the-wheel behavior in their parents are far more likely to take the same risks. If you've got a kid in the car and you're texting, when they start driving, they're going to text, more than likely. Okay, you're speeding, they're going to speed. You're driving while after drinking and they see it, they're going to think, mom and dad got away with it. That's what they say. If you show them how easy it is to pull over to a safe spot before using your phone, or to call a cab or someone else, or not drive when you've been drinking or something, it says here the teenagers will notice. How about that? There you go. Traffic Watch at Delaware 105.9. You think that's true? You think that's true? The best teacher for a teenager to have good driving habits, an adult who has good driving habits. How about that? Now, let's go to Traffic Watch. Robin Bryson is here.
Dan, traffic's been running pretty well around the region this morning. A little bit of busy activity along 13, both north and southbound in and out of Dover, but no major jams or problems. You're doing pretty well past Route 10 in Camden. In Milford, keep in mind the construction northbound 113 at Route 14, and then the overpass from northbound 113 on the northbound Delaware 1 closed. Detours posted there. You'll find that in Sussex County, you're doing fairly well. Some congestion in Millsboro along 113 at Route 24, and then up through Georgetown around the Route 9 intersection, 13 through Seaford, and up through Bridgeville, seeing a little bit of busy activity as well. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight. Low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents. High 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night. Low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day. High 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy. Low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Hi, it's Dan Gaffney. Join me weekday mornings, 5:30 a.m. till 10 for the Dan Gaffney program right here on Delaware 105.9.
Mostly cloudy and breezy today. Some rough surf and rip currents possible. High 73. Low clouds, a breezy night tonight. Low 65. Cloudy and windy for tomorrow. Again, some rough surf and rip currents. High 74. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy for tomorrow night, low 64. And then sunny, breezy, a pleasant day on Wednesday, high 76. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low 65. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
All right, it is cloudy and 66 degrees, and it's the Old Father Group, the realtor that I would call real estate people. You know, I'm not normally recommending residential real estate people, but I have been recommending Dustin and Maria Oldfather. No problem, no question. They will sit down with you, establish a price and a deadline. If that deadline passes and your home isn't sold, they'll buy your home. Ask about that. I'll give you the phone number in just a minute. And I know you might be worried about leaving money on the table or paying stuck paying two mortgages or what have you. But Dustin and Maria Oldfather have a home selling system where they have buyers lined up, ready to buy houses. So I think you're going to be very happy with the level of service they're giving you. If you're not happy, you can cancel free and clear
That's another one of their guarantees. They also guarantee to spend more money marketing your property than any other agent. This is the Oldfather Group. Dustin and Maria Oldfather, the Oldfather Group, Ocean Atlantic, Sotheby's International Realty. 302-296-6644. If you want to call and talk with them, you thought about selling your house, see what they have to say. 302-296-6644.
Eye Care of Delaware is committed to making the treatment of cataracts a simple, quick procedure without disruption to your life. That's why they now offer same-day surgery with their new dropless cataract surgery. This new procedure eliminates the need for annoying drops before and after surgery. Eye Care of Delaware takes care of the drops needed during the procedure. It's fast and easy and allows the patient to focus on healing and improved vision. Exclusive dropless cataract surgery. Just another way Eye Care of Delaware makes bladeless laser-assisted cataract surgery easy for you. And remember, same-day surgery is now available. You won't believe how much better your vision can be. When it comes to your eyes, experience matters. To schedule same-day surgery, contact Eye Care of Delaware, Route 4, Newark. Call 302-454-8800 or visit eyecareofdelaware.com today.
Hi, I'm Christina Lassard with Lassard Builders. If you are looking for a new home, one of your biggest challenges is trying to force your family's current and future needs into a specific home plan. At Lassard Builders, our goal is to build a true custom home where you can make changes or add features to one of our plans, or we'll help you design your own. Whether downsizing or expanding, work hand in hand with my father and third-generation builder to build the home that suits your family's current and future needs. Stop by our model home in the East Villages of 5 Points or online at lassardbuilders.com.
Keeping it local is important to third-generation builder Brian Lassard and the Lassard Builders team. They are loyal to local contractors, businesses, and continually give back by volunteering and serving on nonprofit boards. They have a new blog called Live Delaware, dedicated to supporting locally owned and operated organizations. Join in by going to lassardbuilders.com and clicking on the Live Delaware tab. Live Delaware is just a reminder to keep it local in the nation's small wonder.
Experience 1776 Steakhouse in Rehoboth for specially priced 16-ounce prime rib on Thursdays, live jazz from 7 to 10 on Fridays and Saturdays, and happy hour specials every day from 4 until 7. Open 7 days for dinner and for lunch Monday through Saturday. The atmosphere, warm and inviting. The service, unmatched. Visit 1776 Steakhouse in Midway Shopping Center for a revolutionary dining experience. Call 302-645-9355 for reservations. Come to 1776 Steakhouse and enjoy Nick Wayne live on the piano every Thursday from 6 until 9 p.m.
Come on in to the Pint Pub in Millsborough and travel back to years gone by, where wood-fired ovens create eclectic dishes from ye olde England, Scotland, Ireland and America. The Pint Pub and Eatery is located at 303 Main Street in Millsborough. Join us on Mondays for trivia with DJ Bump and $6.95 sandwich specials.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Ram trucks in stock. Crew cabs, 4x4s, even the Ram 1500. Take $12,000 off of MSRP. And Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. New 2015 Jeep Renegade Sport, just $249 per month lease. Have a job clearing $350 a week? We want to approve your credit today. 2015 Chrysler 200, Grand Caravans, even the all-new Jeep Renegade, just $249 per month lease.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $47,835 with $4,500 factory rebates to dealer and $7,500 dealer discount. Model number DS6H98. Renegade 42-month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Looking ahead here, got an email over the weekend from a listener that believes her automobile window was shot out while she was driving. And that's near the Milford area a few weeks ago, and wants to wants to alert people about it today. So we'll have that story coming up after the news at 8 o'clock. All right, as we approach 8 here on Delaware 105.9. Good morning. So just leaving you with a few thoughts here. The study of the 11th and 12th graders, new drivers, and what are they seeing the adults do? 91% talk on the phone, 88% speed. The adults are texting, even driving under the influence. The teenagers see it. The people doing the study say, look, this is, if you want your teenagers to be better drivers, you have to be a better driver. You have to have better habit. You don't want your teens to text and drive. You don't text and drive. You pull over. You don't want them talking on the phone. You don't talk on the phone. You don't want them drunk driving. You don't drunk driving. You don't drunk driving. Is that even a phrase? It is now. Because they were with you when were at a barbecue and you drank several beers and then drove home. They saw that. So, why wouldn't they do the same thing? According to the study, for what it's worth. Okay. Also, coming up this morning, diesel cars, Volkswagen in the news. Very interesting stuff there at Delaware 105.9. Crazy, speaking of DUI, crazy DUI crash in the Milton area over the weekend. Guy from New Jersey, car hits a tree and a rock and bursts into flames. And we'll talk about that a little bit this morning here on Delaware 105.9. Other news to discuss as well. This is the Dan Gaffney program, on the air everywhere. We'll also tell you how you can help support a local police officer and his wife and some apparent problems with their yet-to-be-born baby. We'll talk about that coming up, too, and how you can help here at Delaware 105.9.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 7:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Mostly cloudy conditions today, going to be quite breezy. Also, if you're heading to the beaches, rough surf and rip currents are possible. Please be safe. A high today, 73. Delaware State Police say they're investigating the armed robbery of a Rita's Water Ice store near Tallyville. State Police say a man with a handgun confronted two female employees at a sales window and demanded cash from the register before fleeing with the cash in his car. Nobody hurt in that incident over the weekend. State Police say they're investigating after a pedestrian was struck and killed by an Amtrak train. This in Newport. State Police say the person was struck about 1 a.m. Sunday. Police say the collision happened on the train tracks between Water Street and East Air Street. The pedestrian was not immediately identified. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis. Delaware 105.9. It's 8 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. Monterey County is California's latest wildfire hotspot. The fire